What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into another great edition of Unsportsmanlike content. Oh, look at that. We got a little Larry Bird action going here.
Happy birthday, Larry.
Happy birthday. He's definitely watching.
I'll never get over that being said while he wears a Yankees cap. That's just will be one that I'll never be able to get over.
It's two different sports, dude. It's two different sports. Get over it, man.
It is. It's the city thing. It's the city thing. It always gets me.
Yes. All right. So we got the happy birthday out of the way. I'll give a little cheers to that. Little pop the whiskey there. You know me. Any excuse to drink.
Giant Snapple back.
Happy, sad, glad, tears, happy, sad. All that stuff. That's all excuse for drinking. So it's been about a month since we have last graced the airwaves. And no, as much as Dave wants to have a catch-up episode where we cover all the bits of news that have happened in the last month, we're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen. But I am Steve. I'm back here with you. I think it's even been longer for me, I feel. Timmy T, what's going on, my friend? How's it hanging?
A day which will live in infamy, the birth of Larry Joe Bird. That's all I'm going to say.
Larry Bird. That's the reason for the season. We'll save Dave for a little bit later when he finally arrives. Ant, what's going on with you, buddy?
It's starting to cool down in Florida. It's my favorite time of year. I don't actually need this hat on right now, but I didn't feel like tying my hair up, so this is what we get tonight.
That's why I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah, it's wonderful. This is the most glorious time. December, my favorite month of the year. My favorite month of the year.
How cool could it possibly be?
Yeah. Well, up by
it was 46 degrees this morning.
Oh my God, 46.
Yeah, 46
See, but we've talked about this before. People that are in much colder areas than in Florida have to understand that we need excuses to wear our cold weather things. So when it's 55, you toss on the hoodie. You know, Anthony down to 46. I think it was like 54, 55, the lowest here.
Just to clarify, I did not wear this hoodie out of the house today. I am actually dressed warmer now than I was when I left the house today.
You want to be cozy in the house. You want to be cozy.
Exactly. In the house, it's comfort. That's what we're going for. Comfort. It's not style.
My wife knows that if I'm really sick, that's when the hoodie breaks out indoors. I don't usually break out the hoodie.
I hope she doesn't watch this because she probably thinks I'm sick constantly.
Always sick. All right, so we'll wait for Dave. No, we won't wait for Dave. I mean, we'll be here when Dave arrives. But a little bit of a rundown. We're going to talk about the blockbuster trade that happened last night. That feels like it's been happening for 10 days now, but it finally came to fruition yesterday. In baseball, a little bit more winter meeting stuff. We'll get into week 13 and now 14 in the NFL. This QB game. Anthony designs these QB games, like I said, to make the rest of us feel stupid.
I love it. It's gonna be so good.
But and we have a special guest right on the opposite end of our little intro here. We got Ed from the Empire 161 show, which appears right here on the PopCulturePros network. So we'll get his take on what's going on with Soto. And I want to ask him about a hashtag that's been being used now for the last few days amongst Yankee fans. Wishful, hopeful, fingers crossed thinking. But let's get to our beautifully produced opening video, and then we'll bring in our guest right on the opposite end here. Let's do it. All right, welcome back in here. We'll get started here in a summer sport. It's December 7th, but we're going to talk a little bit about baseball here. And joining us, like I said, Ed from the 161 show. Eager to talk about this, I'm sure. Ed, what's going on, my friend? How's it hanging? How's life going for you?
Good, man. Can't
How long?
complain.
How long did this trade actually feel like it took to happen for you as a Yankee fan?
15 years. I mean, it kind of felt like I think I was refreshing my Twitter for the last week, probably every 10 seconds or wherever my brain wasn't doing something else. So, yeah, it was a really, really long stretch there, but thank God it got done because, I mean, I was fading with my phone in my hand laying in bed last night. I'm like, refresh. Thank God it's over. Thank you, God. And then I just put on and relaxed.
It almost felt like to me, it felt more like a NBA free agency. Oh, Pat Riley has left the winter meetings. You know that they were on the plane on their way out.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Then the Padres were in meetings, and then you hear that there's a possible snag because of medical stuff, and that was the feel that it had, like an NBA high priced free agency. But in this instance, it's trade. Soto, obviously one of the best players in all the land, heads from San Diego to the Bronx, and then a whole bunch of other players are involved. But what's your take on this? Because I know that there's a little bit of division. Is it worth it? What makes it worth it? Is it going to be a rental? Can you get him to sign afterwards? So talk about that kind of stuff. What's your feel on it?
Well, I'm definitely pro trade, right? Like this is definitely something the Yankees desperately needed after, finishing last season barely over 500 and one of the worst offenses, I mean, in my lifetime, I can say for sure. I mean, it kind of felt like back in the days of the Mel Hall, Jesse Barfield, Hensley Mulin's bad back Don Mattingly days, and it was rough. But yeah, they got arguably the best left-handed hitter in all of baseball, right? Defensively, he's not a Gold Glove winner. That's fine, we get that, but he's also not Ruben Sierra, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at.
These are references that have never been made on the show. Ruben Sierra.
Oh, come on. Tim knows that. Like, I'm going to bring all these bad Yankee days.
And they never will be again.
No, nor should they be. Nor should they be ever again. But, yeah, Yanks pick up one of the best left-handed hitters in all of baseball. Trent Grisham, who was the throw-in here, excellent two-time Gold Glove winner.
Yep.
He'll help out in the outfield because – along with the trade for Verdugo, they're obviously balancing out the lineup, which they've needed left-handed hitting desperately, and that was a miscalculation by Brian Cashman in the last handful of years. So definitely bringing balance there with Verdugo, I'm going to be fascinated with how he adjusts to being a Yankee for many reasons. But you got
we were all in our Unsportsmanlike chat. We were all kind of saying what Anthony was like, what? Red Sox Yankees trade?
I thought he was getting flipped. I'm going to be honest.
Punk
I thought he was
back.
2023, wild year.
Hell's freezing over it. That's it.
Exactly. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. But then what the Yanks gave up, I mean, yeah, they gave up a lot of bodies. I mean, listen, Michael King was working his way into the rotation at the end of last season. He had 8 solid starts. Going into next year, I mean, he's 29 also. So he's not like this up-and-coming prospect that has just burst on the scene and we don't know. And he has been hurt a lot. So that's something, and he was the big piece that we gave up, right? Like Drew Thorpe, prospect. We'll see how that goes. Johnny Brito and Randy Vasquez got a taste in the Bronx last year. Both showed some promise, but I still see them as back end of the rotation guys, right? And then Kyle Higashioka, good defensive catcher, little pop, but he's also on the other side of 30. So
great name.
Yeah. Higgy Pop. But listen, the Padres will still want to compete, right? Like they're not going to full rebuild. They're losing 3/5 of their rotation. They can supplement some of that there. They had to get rid of Soto because they basically overspent their needs and couldn't afford
needed
it.
a loan to pay their payroll.
That's crazy.
Loan.
That's really embarrassing.
Professional sports franchise.
Yeah, right? Like, come on now. Like, we all saw this, right? Weren't we all wondering the last couple of years, where are the Padres getting this money from? Where is this all coming? Like, it's crazy.
Well, now we know, the bank.
Yeah, basically, right? Like, you had to go ahead and
Not
get a loan,
from them.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they probably wish they would have held on, maybe not signed Xander Bogaerts to that contract, and maybe could have flipped that for Soto, but they short-term thinking got them in trouble. and that's where we're at. As far as the Yanks go, though, I mean, they're back in the conversation now for being like, serious, in the AL East, in the AL overall. This isn't like World Series slam dunk done. They're not a finished product. They still got other stuff to go on for, especially the rotation. I mean, I think position player wise, they're pretty much done. I mean, I would say that's probably a safe case. I mean, the team looks pretty good, but you got to address the pitching now. And I feel like they made the deal in knowing that they're very confident in landing Yamamoto. And I know that's where you were going with hashtag Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Yeah. So that I do think that it was working in concert. It's not guaranteed, but I also think that, and you got that report that came out yesterday that Hal gave the green light to go over 300 million if he needs to, and this is what would get them there. And they're all fallback options. Let's say they don't get Yamamoto.
Of course.
Yeah. Snell's out there. You can bring back Jordan Montgomery, who they're familiar with, obviously, and everything. So there are other options, but hey, shoot for the moon right now. And if you complete Yamamoto, I mean, this is, make Tim happy there. This is evil empire moves. This is like the Yankees operating like the Yankees again, like they haven't in the last, in a while now. Probably since the Stanton move. That's probably the last time they really were like, hey, we're going to make a splash in the offseason. And that hasn't exactly worked out how we thought it was going to. But,
well, at least Lisa has eye candy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Lisa's very happy. At least to look there. You'll see him run the bases, maybe jog in the outfield once in a while. But
hey, Rudy, what's going on, buddy? Okay, so you got the hashtag going. I think I just saw a post, I think, from SNY that this deal with the superstar from Japan is going to come down to Mets and Yankees. Get your popcorn ready, is what the post said. Not the New York Post, the post from SNY.
The Post, yeah, there you go.
So
maybe that too. Who knows?
That'll be some fun. And again, this is like NBA free agency where you see owners going to now. Cohen went to Japan on his private jet, said whatever he said. Yankees will meet with him on Monday, right?
Monday, and Tanaka and Matsui will be in attendance apparently.
Right.
To try to,
and then obviously there'll be a I think not too long after that we should expect a decision.
I would assume. I don't think.
I think then you got your top two. Yeah.
How are you feeling about your? I mean, I know you want Yamamoto also. So
hell yeah, I do. Yes. No, I'm not upset that you guys got Soto because we're not in direct competition with you guys unless we get to the World Series. So if it was the Braves getting him or the Phillies getting him, I'd be furious. Probably nowhere to be found right now. But
got sick this week.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm sit out back, just stare at the gaze at the sun and moon and the stars.
You'd be on your sixth whiskey instead of your first.
right. The IV would be put in. No, I didn't think that the Mets were going to put a package together, or I didn't think that they were going to
have the prospects for it.
I don't even think that they, Let me say something that is divisive on the Put in the Book show. I could care less about prospects. Give me the proven commodity and give me the proven guy. What Rudy, be nice. This is a family show.
Is that what's his face's nephew or something?
I don't know.
What's the guy that's always going on with the Yankees on every show on PopCulturePros? Yeah,
Terzio.
Is that like his nephew or something? That's cute.
Terzio just comes after me.
No, he jumps on with me and Lisa sometimes, and we talk about how
I have seen him.
Show. Yeah, we're his favorite show on PopCulturePros. How much he is really interested in everything the Yankees do. So.
See, I'm kind of on the opposite end of that. I'm keeping an eye on that, but unless we get to the World Series together, it's not we play a few regular season games and that's it. But just okay. So from a trade perspective, go to the Edwin Diaz trade. and we gave up Kellenic. By the way, they still call it the Cano trade for some stupid reason. And now
Still on
what
your
happened with
payroll.
Kellenic? Yeah, that's fine, but at least I have an owner that doesn't give a shit about payroll
No,
anymore.
you're right.
'cause
You're right.
None of this stuff would have happened with the old
Oh,
douchebags.
absolutely.
But with that deal, you know, it was immediate. Oh, you gave up Kellenic, unbelievable. So he's had one good stretch in the majors. It's just his major league average is below 200. They talk about how his attitude sucks, and now he gets straight to the Braves and watch him flourish here.
I
But
knew you were going there.
moral of the story is I really don't. I could care less about give me the proven commodity for you guys. If you win the World Series this year, obviously, or next year, we're still in this calendar year. Obviously, it was worth it. If he walks or not, you know, you won the World Series. You know, you did your thing.
Flag forever.
What's up?
The
Flag
issue
forever,
comes in,
yeah.
right? The issue comes in if they don't get to the playoffs and they lose him. That's worst case scenario, obviously. But hey, I'm with you. If I was a Yankee fan, I'd be thrilled right now. I've seen what this dude can do firsthand, Nationals, and all that stuff for years. So congratulations to you guys, and hope you fall flat on your face for the other dude.
I'm
Guys,
sure you did.
can I say real quick though? I agree with what you said about. I used to be a big prospect guy. Don't trade the prospects. Don't trade. And then you start going over the list. I think my main guy, Ed, you'll know exactly. Justice Sheffield. I
Yes.
was like,
Oh,
you can't get rid of him. Are you fucking crazy? How dare you get rid of him? You've never heard of the guy since. You never heard of him since. So you know, I am 100% on this bandwagon now. As far as you don't know who these guys are going to be, especially baseball. Baseball is way too hard for these prospects to turn out. And no offense to the guys that we gave up, I think we stole them. That's why I say if we don't sign them, resign them, I still think we stole them for a year. Again, no offense to those guys.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you said, King's 29. Higgy's over 30 years old. And the other two guys, we don't know yet.
Hey!
You don't know. You don't know what they're going to be. So this is at least a 1 year steal. How the hell is it be after that? But yeah, I think it's at least a steal for now. So I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the truth. I know Cashman met with the media earlier today, and he made some comments that were good to hear. As Yankee fans who hear that they're sounding very confident and not with the postseason's a crapshoot, you never know kind of crap. Like they're like talking about making it the mecca of baseball and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, this is what I'm used to hearing. This is what we used to hear. Like really trying to like be very confident and and kind of looking to dominate here. Unless something crazy happens where he falls on his face, not literally, or he just is a bad clubhouse presence or something, I can imagine they made this deal with the idea that they're going to re-up with him. Of course, it's a Boris client. He's going to take him to free agency. I would be floored if there was an extension, but I can't see that. But hey, listen, you get a year to try him out because we've seen even with the Mets and the Yankees, there's certain players, superstars get traded to New York and then suddenly shit the bed. So you can kind of see what he's got. He's in a walk year. He's got every motivation in the world ready to go. So
25 too. You know that this next
Jason
contract.
Bay, yeah, we can exchange names. Man. We can keep going.
Like ping pong.
Not to say,
Yeah.
could be quite a few of those.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Ant, what's your thoughts on this? Soto gets traded to the Padres. You got Soto, Tatis, all these guys in that lineup, and Padres as they do fall on their face, and the Cy Young Award winner, by the way.
I think based on just to touch on the clubhouse stuff with Soto, I think based on how last year played out, it seemed like he was one of the few players that was trying to get guys to get their heads out of their ass last year. So I actually don't think a clubhouse issue would be a problem with Soto. As far as the ad for the Yankees and the way that they're currently constructed, it's an ideal fit. I mean, they needed a left-handed bat so badly, and then to get him and Verdugo was it back-to-back days or was it 2 days apart?
Back-to-back days, yeah.
Back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, those are huge ads, and we touched on it. You guys touched on it before. Trent Grisham being a throw-in in that trade is wild to me. He is a great defensive outfielder, and in a situation where I guess as they're currently constructed, they're talking about Judge is going to have to play more center. Having Trent Grisham there with that availability, if by off chance they can get rid of that gargantuan Stanton contract, Trent Grisham slides right in perfectly. I mean, I thought that was it was crazy to me that it was talked about as a throw, and he's a 2-time Gold Glove winner in the outfield. Superb defensive player. I thought that was great. Not a Yankees fan by any means, but I agree with what Tim said. It feels like they kind of stole him. Like, I looked at that package, and similar to everyone here, I think we've all had probably that one prospect in our lives that we're like, this is going to be the guy, and then they don't be the guy, and then you start to realize like prospects are really overrated. Jurickson Profar for me was like, he's a can't miss prospect. He's like
every year fantasy. This is the year for Profar. This is the year.
Jurickson Profar is going to be amazing. Yeah, and no one.
I think I stopped with the prospects.
Mike Trout.
Oh yeah, well, Mike Trout is now being held captive. He's not being traded. He's in the basement.
Let's keep it on the Yankees. We don't need to talk about the Angels and that crap franchise.
I stopped. I think I stopped dealing with prospects in Generation K '96. Bill Pulsifer, Jason Isringhausen. That burned the shit out of me, man. That was like 15, but damn, that burned.
I kind of think the '90s is when I stopped too. Honestly, Brian Taylor and everything like that. Yeah.
Brian.
I think I have a Brian Taylor rookie card somewhere around here.
So do I.
It's probably worth the whole 38 cents.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take out that plastic and just fucking start chucking them all out.
That's what the Mets broadcasters do in a blowout game. They start going through piles of baseball cards and they fling them out the announcer window, and fans get them.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
We're always chatting all the time. I know it's not football, but I just wanted to paint a picture because these fucking franchises are exactly the same. On paper, the Padres and the Chargers should be juggernauts in these leagues. Right?
That's a great comparison. That's a great comparison.
They should be juggernauts in both sports. So here's my take, and I've been poking to these guys. The Giants should trade for Justin Herbert because they're about to blow up that team. There's no way. Eckler's gone. What's his name? The beard. He's gone. I can't think of his name. Why can't I think of his name?
Keenan Allen.
He's gone. They're all gone. Why can't we trade for Herbert? Forget this rookie quarterback bullshit and starting over again.
Wow. He just signed that contract. He's almost untradeable right now.
It doesn't matter. We'll get him. I don't care.
Figure out a way.
It's my dream now. This is my dream.
Steve Moore would lose his mind. He was all about Justin Herbert going to the Giants for years, before he even came out, and he was like all about it.
Screw this.
I would be more than happy to get Justin Herbert out of that god awful hellhole that is the Chargers franchise. So it wouldn't bother me.
New York rescues San Diegoans who just are trapped.
Is it San Diegoans or San Diegites or
San Diegites?
The whales vaginas. The whales vaginas.
I think it was lost in translation.
Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We're going to rescue those guys. We rescued Eli. He became a 2-time champion. It's time to start taking more of our guys back and giving them a life. Because that city's not built for sports. That city's built for fucking surfing and just laying back and chilling out and fucking Ron Burgundy. That's it. Nothing else.
Losing close games. All right. So as far as the rest of these baseball dominoes, obviously Ohtani, Yamamoto, and then we'll see. After Ohtani signs, I imagine that there will be a plethora of signings that take place after that. Minor things here and there, but obviously the Soto thing is the biggest thing of the offseason so far. We'll see what happens with Ohtani, and the rest of these dudes. You still got Snell. You got all this talent still out there. Not being
they can't sign until Ohtani does. They can't.
Yeah, that's right.
Ed, what do you think?
I just want to.
Well, that's another. I'm sorry, go on.
I know. I just wanted to note that I thought that it was great that the first tweet I saw announcing the Soto trade was from John Boy Media. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. That was the person who broke the news for me.
Ed, what do you think Ohtani's going to go?
Thinking Dodgers. I'm going to be honest. I know, like on Empire 161, I was hoping and praying that the Yankees were going to do it, and then once he got hurt, I was like, maybe not. Maybe we'll back up the truck on that one. It kind of feels like the Dodgers reset their luxury tax last year in making this whole play that they're going to go balls to the wall to go all in to go get Ohtani. And from what I hear, he's still on the whole West Coast thing, even though he's entertaining the Blue Jays. But
Cubs.
I don't know. I don't.
Blue
Yeah,
Jays.
the Cubs. I don't. I think it's the Dodgers. I would be very shocked if he doesn't end up with the Dodgers.
What do you guys think of the drama that went on with the Dodgers just was a day or two ago with the Ohtani thing, where
Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts was openly discussing the meeting and all this stuff, which is fine. He's a free agent,
Yeah.
but then it was, his camp wanted to keep it quiet. Is this going to put any potential deal in jeopardy? It shouldn't. But I guess we'll see on that. But it's got to be Dodgers.
I think it's Dodgers, and I also do think that
I hate it, but it's got to be Dodgers.
Oh, I do think though, and I've heard a lot of chatter about this, and I guess pass it around and see what we think. Baseball really could use a whole free agents frenzy like the NFL, like NHL, and like the NBA has.
NBA, absolutely.
Yep.
All
quick,
three of them kind of have it. Yeah, like
3-4
boom,
days.
boom, boom, midnight or whatever it is. As soon as the clock strikes, Rufus. And
Rufus joins us on the show.
Everyone just goes berserk and goes like, it would be cool instead of dragging this whole thing out. Like the sport can use it. It helps to keep your sport relevant during the off season. That would be awesome.
So.
Well, how many people stay up for the midnight? Was it midnight tweets for for NFL? When NFL free agency hits, everyone's glued to Twitter at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you hear about things before they're allowed to sign.
From the Bengals just
Tampering
signed a $20 million contract. Amazing. And everyone's freaking out about it. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that'd be great for baseball to do something like that. Anything to garner attention, baseball needs to start doing, because let's face it, they have been losing a lot of attention over the last feels like a long time. So anything they can do to grab some more of those headlines and make it a day, like you said, I think the comparisons you made were perfect. The NBA, NFL, even hockey. Like when hockey free agency opens, there is a flurry of moves right away, and everyone's panicking and freaking out and trying to figure out who's going where. Need a little chaos in the off season. This whole one move a day thing is just not it.
Or even make it the week of the winter meetings. Like that's what it's like. I feel like that's what they promote the winter meetings as, but it doesn't always happen. Some years it does happen where it's like every couple hours you hear something. I would even take that. Give me the 4 days during the winter meetings and make that period.
What's that dude's name? He used to have a show on MLB Network with the... I can't think of any names ever. But with Miller. Was it a Miller guy?
Oh, Intentional
Bill
Talk.
Miller. Intentional Talk. What was the other dude's name?
Shit, he works on NFL Network now.
Yeah, well, anyway, he was on. I saw his take on this, and he was basically saying, I know what it's like to go there. It's just people just sitting around BSing, probably not even about players. I see it all the time. I covered it, and they're BSing everybody with saying that there's all this, intense talk among. He said it happens few and far between. When a story is blowing up, that's when it gets big, and that's it. So
that sucks.
Right? When you think about winter meetings, you think, all right, this player's walking around. You get your ass over here. All right, we'll start at 3 years, 65. What do you got? That kind of thing.
Have any of you guys ever had a chance to go to the winter meetings?
Based on what he just said, thank God I haven't, because I would hate to fucking go there and see that shit.
So I have a close friend of mine who previously worked in baseball. He worked with a couple of minor league teams in their scouting departments, and I got a chance to go to the winter meetings with him when I lived in Tennessee. I was
going to say Nashville.
It's in Nashville. I got the chance to go to him actually in Nashville, and it is not as eventful as it seems. It's a bunch of fancily dressed people that you can't get near, sitting at bars
like
and
Santa
walking
Claus,
in and
man.
out of restaurants, and there's not much going on. There's a ton of people there, but there's really it's pretty lame. I was very disappointed when I went there. I was like, this is it? We just watch people walk around?
Watch people in suits.
What if they made it like a cat house? Like you walk in and all the prospects are in one room. like a whorehouse. Right?
My God.
And you go prospect to prospect and you talk to each one of them. Each one of you get like 5 minutes per guy. Move down the line. Talk to the next one. Pictures.
Like a speed dating type of thing.
I was going to say, let's clean it up and say speed dating.
Yeah, make it a little more family friendly.
Yeah, family friendly.
I know. I forget where we are. The pictures over there. I'll head right for the pictures. I need an outfielder. Oh, they're over there. I better go. Hey man, I'd watch that every day.
Or was it supermarkets?
Sure.
I would watch
the supermarket game.
I'm selling all my supermarket sweep.
Supermarket sweep. We're just gonna grab your card. Go, Otani, get your ass in there.
But I also do think the Otani thing with him wanting his free agency to be like secret, it's part of the problem that baseball has, is because he's their biggest star, right? Like it's probably Judge is 1A and Otani is like the biggest story in baseball. And this should be a celebration of Ohtani. Like, we should see all this stuff about it. But he's kind of seems to be like a weird dude. Like, nobody knows much about him. He gets his MVP award, and like, not that I'm going to knock it. Hey, he has his dog with him, and that's cool, and everything like that. But there's a lot of mystery around Ohtani.
Didn't he like not want to say the dog's name or something?
Yeah, because the rumor is that like it will like tip you off to where he's going. I'm like, what are we doing here? This dude should be everywhere. What are we talking about right now?
He'll tip you off to where he's going?
Yeah, like they were making a joke out of it on MLB Network yesterday, and it was like, is this dog's name Fenway? Or, is it Short Porch? Or, this is my Dodger
dog.
Is it Scully?
My Dodger dog.
Fleshy?
Yes, this is my Dodger dog.
My Dodger dog. Perfect.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous, though. So
wait, so the two MVP, so baseball MVP, well, in the American League, and MVP of the NBA, like kind of NBA dude is like, I want to get out of here. I don't want to stay for the parade and just go home. This guy was the name of the dog.
Yeah, and they're both like oddly like intriguing people, right? Like people look at Jokic and it's just like, this guy looks like he should not be dominating anything. He looks like he should be like in a lie playing, but he's busting everyone's ass. And then you have Ohtani, who was just like, this guy's a unicorn. He's the only guy. He's done the pitching hitting thing longer than Ruth has at this point. And if he maintains this, then yeah, he might go down as like the GOAT in baseball. But we still got to like let his career play out. But this is what should be getting baseball like their attention. Their top superstars need to be more out there, and Judge is out there. That's why I would say he's garnered the attention, plus the 62 home runs he plays for Yankees and stuff. But we'll see. I mean, Ohtani plays for the Dodgers, maybe gets a little bit more high profile now because he's with the Dodgers, but he's got to open up. Trout's not really an open guy. I mean, what do we know about Mike Trout? He likes weather, and he's an Eagles fan.
The stupid Eagles fan.
He goes to a lot of Eagles games.
Yeah, that's all we know about Mike Trout. Meanwhile, the guy is a fucking monster, 5-tool player and everything. So
they were talking a few years back on the Dan Le Batard show, and they were playing different interview segments from different players, and Mike Trout was one of them, and nobody could say who it was.
Of course.
Nobody recognized the voice. No, especially in baseball, who on the East Coast is really staying up? Especially these days when they suck. The Angels to watch Mike Trout. You're catching the highlights, but that's it. Okay, on Sports Center, 25 minutes into their Sports Center, oh, Mike Trout hits 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and the Angels lose, 15-7. Yeah, so
Mike Trout does something that hasn't been done since 1918. Angels lost 6-2.
Yeah,
Ohtani goes half an hour in. Yeah,
8 no-hit innings, yields to bullpen, gives up 16 runs. Angels lose. Wow. So that's it. So, but yeah, that's it'd be an interesting weekend of nerves. Monday is the meeting. I want to know what's going on. I need a fly on the wall. I need bugs in there. I need to know what's happening. And I also need to know. I also want him to know that the former owner, the father, once called one of his own, a fat, what. So that could also happen.
Oh, I'm sure he's aware of that. Tim knows this. Back then, I was going to get a batting practice jersey. It said F Toad on the back with a Robert's number. I totally was going to do that. I was all in. And then I backed out at the last time.
Oh, man. All right. So look, all right, Ed, we appreciate you coming on. It's off season, so you always have a space here. If they get Yamamoto, you're not coming back on. You're not welcome on the show anymore.
You're not going to want to come and bring me back for your hashtag Yamamoto?
No. We're not going to do that. But
he's going to ban the phrase on the show.
That's what it is.
Oh, yes.
He's going to dump it every single time that someone tries to say it.
And if we can't,
just do a 161 very special episode. That's all.
Oh no! Listen,
a Christmas
people
episode.
Definitely do that. That's definitely gonna happen.
You got to do a Christmas episode.
It'll be Yamamoto edition.
So Steve's gonna forget to pay the StreamYard bill that month. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I changed the password. My bad. Can't find it.
I don't know what happened. Technology, Betty. Yeah, this sucks. All right, Ed. We appreciate you joining us for some baseball talk, and we'll have you back on as more news comes on. If the Mets get Yamamoto, you also have to come on.
Fine, I don't care. Dude, come on. You know I don't hate the Mets. Listen, whatever. It is what it
I'm
is.
scared. I'm nervous. Somebody please hold me. All right, Ed. Take care, buddy.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, Ed.
Later, man.
Oh, he's back.
All right, so that's baseball.
That
a
was
lot.
Mel shooting right back here. Like,
Oh, right back.
how are you?
So Ed, don't end our show like other hosts have done in the past.
That's right. They love to hit end. Ed, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Stream, boo. All right, so that's baseball. Obviously, got the winter meetings were this week. I guess we're not going to see any dominoes fall. It'd be. I thought they said that Ohtani was going to be announced during the week, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. All right. You want to get into a little bit of hockey news? You got some hockey. I'm told, Anthony.
We can. Yeah, I got a few things to talk about.
Since it's cooling off in South Florida, let's lay a little bit of ice out.
I mean, I had people. I saw someone wearing a snorkel jacket today, so time to talk about hockey. Apparently.
By the way, Saturday, the high temperature will be 82 degrees.
Are all the lizards falling out of the trees?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Listen,
that's January.
but
January.
But real talk. When down here, it takes a little longer for there to be a possibility of iguanas falling out of trees down here in South Florida. It'll get here, but it's so perfect. There's like 50 of them, and they're in this tree, and I'm just gonna get there nice and early before the sun rises, and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna record and I'm gonna watch them just.
What a parting gift by Ed. That was beautiful. That was great.
Very, very well done. Very well done. Very well done. And I'm just gonna record them just falling, and then for Timmy, I will attempt to pick one up by the tail, a long one, pick it up by the tail, and just try to hold it there.
Yes, you must.
Just solid.
It is hilarious to see. I'm not gonna lie. I know
if something like that happened here, I would gladly pick up a frozen rat for you, just show you that it really works.
What a picture!
What a picture! Frozen rats. There's been rats down here on the ice before, right? Yeah.
When the Panthers.
All right, what's going on in hockey?
The New York City
Rats.
Weather don't mean nothing to them.
Coming up close to a quarter of the way through the season here. Actually, a little past a quarter of the way through the NHL season.
Wild.
Two things stand out in the Eastern Conference at least, and that is that the Bruins and the Rangers are like up here, and then the rest of the Eastern Conference is down here, because those two teams are killing it. I think they're 6 points better than the next closest team in the East currently, which is a pretty wide margin this early in the season. Both teams playing really, really well. We all discussed it in the offseason when we talked about the Rangers bringing in Peter Laviolette, that while long term it's a little questionable, early on when he comes in as a coach on a new team, he does some immediate success, and that's what the Rangers are seeing right now. They look great. We did have two coaches get fired already this season. Jay Woodcroft was fired by the Oilers after a 3-9-1 start. I'm not sure that I would blame Jay Woodcroft for their start. I think Jay Woodcroft's a pretty good coach, but needless to say, someone's got to take the blame when a team starts slow, and he did. They have gone 7-3 since then, so it is what it is. They've looked better. Their good players have started playing good again, so I guess that's a good sign. Dean Evison, the head coach of the Minnesota Wild, was also let go. That one just happened about a week and a half ago. The Wild also have rebounded since then. They are 4-0. They have not lost under new head coach John Hines.
Get fired up, head coach, new head coach. Let's get fired up, baby.
Hire, but hey, they're 4-0, so something's working, I guess. In terms of other storylines going on this season, Aiden Hill was a Stanley Cup hero for the Vegas Golden Knights last year. A goaltender they traded for before the season, traded a 4th-round pick to get from San Jose, goes on to lead them to a Stanley Cup. He's actually leading the league in goals against average currently. He's been arguably the best goalie in hockey. He's been great. Nikita Kucherov currently leading the league in points with 44 points. He is 8 points ahead of the next closest player. So Nikita Kucherov already
44 points, a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, he's on
Or
pace for.
just a little bit.
I think he's on pace for like 150 something points or something like that. It's like 152 points, if I'm not mistaken. That's a lot for anyone that's wondering. A lot of points. Quinn Hughes and Cal McCarr are currently both on pace for 100-point seasons as defensemen. Last year, Erik Karlsson did it, and he was the first defenseman to do it since, I believe, Brian Leach. I could be wrong.
Guy.
I'm pretty sure it's Brian Leach.
I know that guy.
You guys might have heard of him. He also
My favorite Ranger, bitch.
He was really good. But yeah, so that's historic. Obviously, Erik Karlsson was. I want to say it's been like 15 or 20 years since it happened, and when Karlsson did it last year. So the fact that there are two defensemen currently pacing for over 100 points, it's pretty impressive. And then Connor Bedard, we have to check in on the supposed greatest prospect since Connor McDavid. Leads all rookies in points. He's got 20 points so far. Leads all rookies in goals as well. He has 11 goals early on here in the season. There have been some people out there complaining about his, how do I word this? Very wild play as far as he makes some very erratic decisions on the ice that lead to a ton of turnovers. But you know, he's I think he turned 18 like a week before the season started, so he'll be okay. He looks pretty good.
Remember how dumb we all were at 17? We were all dumb at 17. Don't give the guy a break.
Yes,
and now you have a dummy.
30,
Now you have a dummy with $1
32.
million in his pocket. He'll be okay.
Exactly. Exactly. And then he had to deal with all these horrible rumors about his ex-teammate and his mom, so you know.
A lot of that going
Sorry.
Wait,
that was a cheap shot. That was a cheap shot.
That was great.
He was there. I had to say it.
All right, so let's go Rangers.
That's about it.
I love the Brian Leach reference here. I wanted, I forgot this, but I wanted at the very beginning of the show to get our picks on this supposed game that's going on tonight. Let's throw out our pick right now. The supposed game that's going on right now is the Patriots and Steelers. Who you guys got?
Steelers.
By the way, Steelers. Okay, we're all three of us Steelers.
Mello gets the Patriots since he's not here yet.
Mello gets the Patriots because
he's
if
sleeping.
you don't get your picks in on time, you get the road team always.
I like it.
He's sleeping right now.
That he is. It's AM PM. It's getting that stuff. The lowest over under on total points since 1993. If you're watching this game right now, you need to reevaluate your life. This like Al Michaels must be. I haven't turned anything on, pregame show, nothing. This is not a game to me. But Al Michaels must be like fucking furious right now. Drunk out of his mind. What is this? Zappy versus Trubisky?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Yeah, that was supposed to be the starting quarterback matchup tonight. Zappy versus with the possibility of Malik Cunningham.
Oh, look at that. That'll drive the
what was the
Steelers defense is the only reason to watch this game today. The Steelers defense. That's it. There's no other reason to watch this game today.
Yeah, because you're facing them this week in fantasy.
Oh, that's what this is about. So you guys are playing. I'm not.
Just got it. You just got it.
Yeah. I meant to ask way earlier, but as you can see,
he beat me twice already. So I'm hoping you can't beat the same team 3 times in a year.
No, I only beat you once.
Did you? I thought
you beat the tar out of me the first time we played. You were the high scoring team that week.
Oh,
I think you scored like 220 points against me the first time.
Are there any injuries on your teams right now that are concerning?
Darren Waller still hasn't come back for me yet.
And he won't.
And I don't think
he's being picked up a lot. I see his name being picked up.
I've just left him.
All right, well, good luck to both of you. Because I'm not in the fucking playoffs.
Doesn't work that way. We can't both.
Doesn't make any sense. Look at the team.
Fucking auto drafter first place again with a bye.
By the way, both of them.
The devil. He sold his soul to the goddamn devil.
Both him and Joe, both on the Put in the Book show, both sent me screenshots today saying, "Man, this is going to be a tough week." Both bastards. Meanwhile, I'm on the outside looking in.
Auto fucking drafters. They should be penalized.
Well, producer Joe actually drafted. I think his team.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about.
Producer Joe, actually, he's still in a league where they do their full draft in person, and all the points are done by hand. They don't go through ESPN or this is dating back to like the 90s and shit. But all right, so all that to say, that's it for hockey this week. Oh, we went black back there.
That's
So,
racist.
let's fix that. Let's go green. Kermit's gonna be
Man,
pissed off.
I can't believe this guy's not going to show up.
Wait, so all right, let's take one step back.
Oh,
Hey.
Let's give Dave a few more.
You know what? I'm really glad that you brought this up because I have a potentially controversial take.
Now, wait, I wanted to ask you. You say let me wait one more week to evaluate what's going on with the player XYZ. Have you had a chance to think about this in-season tournament and what it has done?
This is exactly what I wanted to talk about. This is because I still think there are some major flaws here. Major flaws.
and
Like,
I have
for one,
and I have a good story for you guys afterwards. Go ahead.
Yes.
for one, this needs to be its own thing. Because I'm not going to lie to you, the last couple games of group play and then these playoff tourney games have been excellent basketball. The intensity of a playoff basketball game has 100% been there. The fans, I want to applaud all the fans around the world, mainly North America though, who have been going to these games and just completely wilding out. It's been entertaining. It's been great. There's been controversy. It's been everything you would want from a high importance basketball game. So I'm going to reverse my take. I think the in-season tournament is a great thing, but they do need to separate it. This Tuesday is a group game, but on Wednesday we have a back-to-back against a team that actually is in our division. That can't happen. That can't happen. We need to separate it. Just take like 3 weeks out of the season. Push it back a little bit too. I think it's way too early. This should be like starting right now, or maybe starting like 2 weeks from now. Have this be like the highlight of your. Maybe even make it to where the championship game is like your New Year's Day game or your Christmas Day games. Have the semifinals be Christmas Day. Have the championship be New Year's Day.
Yep.
That how perfect is that? But I do think they need to change the schedule up on this a little bit.
Replace All-Star Week with this.
Well,
I don't give a shit about All-Star Week.
I think they don't want to put it too close to the playoffs, which I agree with. I like it being in the middle-ish of the season as opposed, when the All-Star break happens, you have like a month and a half left of regular season. So I like it being earlier, like middle season. I think this one was kind of too early though. But no, the games have been phenomenal games, phenomenal games. And how about the Pacers, man? How good do they look right now? Just in tourney games, though, not in all the other games.
Which makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
but this is why it should be separated. This is why it should be its own standalone thing.
Yes, because it's so. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. This is year one, so maybe they make these type of adjustments. You see how everything went, but as far as the excitement around those games, as long as you realize that tonight's a tournament game, right? As long as you are remembering when these games are, the games have been great and the players have been playing. That's not major, no little. Oh, I'm here to rest this up, and I tweaked my left pinky toe. Have to sit out 48 minutes. So that's good. I think though that to Anthony, to your point, now once this tournament is over, there's going to be this is there going to be a makeup period where guys start taking games off because they haven't yet, and they have some leeway in between that 65 game award eligibility number of games.
I don't think a lot of these players, at least the players that have already gotten paid. I know for younger players, because of the whole first team, second team stuff, that it matters for their max contracts. I don't think any of the players that have have already been paid give a rat's ass about the 65 game minimum.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you think that now it's just going to be like, okay, after the tournament is over, champions crown, I got the NBA Cup, between there and when basketball gets intense and serious, after the All-Star break, is that the time when these guys are going to start taking games off?
Wouldn't shock me. I get what you're saying. If we have like a stretch here of the next several weeks where every other night, major star A, B, C, D, and E is off tonight because of this or that.
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. It feels like there's been less of it. I would love to see some like data on it just to see if it really has changed it. And maybe to the point I was trying to make about separating the in-season tournament, maybe that's part of the reason they did it like this, to prevent those guys from taking all this extra time off. And like I said, I would love to see. I'm sorry. I know we're talking basketball. The Patriots have scored 2 offensive touchdowns, and they are not even 17 minutes into the game. This is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk about that travesty that is a football game that's going on right now.
So over.
Out here
Let's get in on the over, guys. Over. Pound the over.
They're already at 17 total points has already been hit. So people who tease that line down are in real trouble.
Terza says we need more players like Ben Simmons. I don't think so.
Who needs more players like Ben Simmons?
Just in general.
In general, the world needs more Ben Simmons.
The world needs
debatable, but hey, everyone's entitled to an opinion.
So I part of the reason that I wasn't on, and then the Thanksgiving stuff, I went on a cruise, and part of my cruise was Knicks and Heat. I got to one of the bars on the ship at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I said, look, you guys don't have Knicks Heat on here. I need Knicks Heat on the menu for tonight. So there's one guy behind the bar. He's like, I'm a big Heat fan. We're gonna put it on. We're taking you down. Then this other guy comes over to me and says, who's on the Knicks? So I sat down and I said, well, sir, that's very rude of you to say that.
As he poured my first whiskey of the day.
They poured my triple at 11:30 in the morning. 3 fingers.
3 fingers, bitch.
So I started, having a conversation, telling him about the Knicks players. He's like, all right, down here tonight, we'll be here. So get down there. I'm having some drinks, watching the game. Good game through halftime. And then my son comes down. I turn around. I literally talked to my son for 6 minutes. I turn back around. The Knicks are down by 17 points. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Well, don't worry, because it happened in reverse that same way a few minutes later.
So I was like, what the hell's going on? What was the breakdown? I was like, fucking Spo and his stupid halftime adjustments. Stephen A. Smith, by the way, shame on you, you dirtbag Knicks fan. You leave, the Knicks are down by 20. I get it. Early third quarter, you get up courtside and you leave. You walk out and the Knicks come back and win that. That's the most defensive battle that you're going to get. What was it, 100 to 98, something like that? That's the defensive battles of the 2020s.
Those are the defensive games now. The games that are just shy of 200. Meanwhile, everyone else is dropping 270 and shit like that.
I want to see how much, because the Knicks are the number 1 defensive team in basketball. I want to see how much they're giving up.
Probably like 104.
Right, that's what I'm saying. What is it? What is it these days? No, that I'll pick that up in a bit. So what else is going on in Lakers? Obviously, they so today's the 7th already.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting into the
Pacers. In case I forgot to mention it.
That's
the Pacers beat the Bucks earlier tonight, so the Pacers are going to be in the in-season tournament final. They are. So they beat the Bucks. They're in.
Let me tell my story real quick, because I'm at work and I had my Celtics hat like this on, and the guy says to me, "Oh, Are you pissed off? I'm like, why? Celtics lost last night to the Pacers. And I said, yeah. And he goes, the tournament, they're out. I go, can they still compete for an NBA championship? Yeah. I went, and I gave him by Tommy Lee Jones. I don't care. I don't care.
That's great.
They don't
Terzio's
get
got
to
a
win the
question for you,
fictitious
Timmy.
If the fucking Pacers raise the cup, but the Celtics are winning the NBA championship at the end of the year, be my fucking guest. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think we're gonna have conversation at the end of the season? Is which was better, in-season tourney Pacers or NBA
Yeah,
champions?
exactly.
Who would win? Who would win in a 7-game series? The in-season tourney Pacers or
The Pacers who
insert
won't even make
championship team here?
Pacers who won't even make the actual playoffs, but they won some fucking tournament. It's like, come on, really? What?
Terzio's asking if the WWE released announcers today.
I didn't hear anything about that. My feed did not go off, I should say.
All right, so Pacers are in, like you said, Anthony, and then 9 o'clock.
It
Should
should
be
have
starting
already
now?
tipped off. Pelicans, Lakers should have
Lakers, Pelicans. And so winner of that will play the winner of the Pacers. The Pacers, Saturday at 8:30. And we'll see. We'll see. I want to see how that atmosphere is for the championship.
And just to piggyback, the Pacers are 12-8, so they're not the worst team in basketball, but they, they're 12-8.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. They're 12-8.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't make the regular playoffs, but they're going to walk around with that cup like they fucking the kings of the world.
And that was the other thing I did want to mention. I do think 4 games for group play is not enough. Because this whole point differential tiebreaker, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that the Orlando Magic beat the Celtics in the tournament, but did not get to advance in the tournament, even though they had the same record, because the tiebreaker is point differential. I think that is stupid and silly and should not be a rule. But
I think it helped the gambling community, because let's be honest, the end of NBA basketball games are the fucking worst when you're betting the spread. It's just the absolute worst. You pull your players out, they go on a 14-0 run, and it's a 6-point game instead of 9.5. Show your math.
9.5.
9.5. Sorry. All right. The Detroit Pistons are not a good basketball team. They're 2-19. They've lost. Haven't they lost 18 straight games? Yes.
Is it 18? They lost again?
They were 2-1, baby. They were 2-1.
You know what's hilarious about that?
Beer.
Is that the Wizards are 3-17 and nobody is talking about it because of how bad the Pistons are.
Well, at least Detroit has the Lions and Eminem. What else? Cars.
Do they make cars in Detroit still?
Kid Rock, if you like
Kid
that
Rock.
side. If you like that side.
All right, so we'll see what goes on here in the next couple of days. But I enjoyed the end of that game. I did not enjoy the shock when I turned around. The Knicks were up by 1 at the half, down by 17 a couple minutes later.
Did you tell your son he's a jinx?
No, well, no, because I didn't have the time, because we were sitting there and chatting, and he was using me as here's filler time between the time that I'm talking to you and the time that I go meet back up with my buddy. So I was filler. So he showed up and he vanished as quickly as he showed up. I turned back around, down by 17. But the comeback was strong. All right. Now, Anthony, I got a question for you. I know we have this set up. Do you want to wait for Dave for next week, or do you want? Let's power through.
I'm really disappointed in Dave right now.
I know.
I want to call him.
Listen, what the problem is that he did not want to have another Aaron Rodgers situation on his hands from the last quarterback game.
We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him.
Oh, we're gonna call him live.
Live on the air.
We're gonna
first time. All right, everybody.
This is like a prank radio show.
I'll put it on speaker.
I've always thought about doing that. We should just sit here and call like stores and say dumb shit. Like
John Cena.
He's not going to answer.
He's not gonna answer.
no way.
I'm getting all excited like that Jerky Boys thing.
The jerky. That's what I was trying to say. Jerky boys, baby.
Terrible.
Wake up, Davey.
You know, one of the jerky boys, the darker of the two.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record
Are we
your
leaving a
message.
voicemail?
When
No,
you
we
have
can't.
finished
Because
recording, you may hang up.
we leave them a voicemail.
I just want you to know that I'm very disappointed in you right now.
Live on air. Leaving this
live
voicemail
on the air. We're very disappointed in you. Voicemail left.
What, 5
Terzio-
minutes, you're gonna see boop. It's gonna go boop. He's gonna pop in.
Oh, no.
Fixing his hair.
Raul says, "Don't forget the Detroit Red Wings are a very good team this year."
They are. They're looking good. I don't think they're quite up there with like the Boston and the Rangers.
No Rangers, buddy.
But no, they're much better than people thought. They have 31 points currently through 24 games, 14-7-3. They look good. How about the Panthers? I should have probably mentioned them too. Panthers, despite missing their top two defensemen for the first 15 to 18 games of the season, second place in the Atlantic Division behind the I was almost going to say the Boston Celtics, the Boston Bruins.
Bite your tongue, Terzio. The Rangers will fizzle. He also says the effing Jets are no effing good. We told you that at the beginning of the season. I think.
Been saying that for a while. Been saying that one.
I think
for
we
a
said
while.
that. But
The
Aaron
world-
Rodgers come back,
the world-
baby.
The world told you that 30 years ago. I don't know what.
Oh my God! The Patriots scored again.
Wait, how?
It's 21-3 Patriots.
How is
No,
this
Bailey
happening?
Zappi has thrown 3 touchdowns. Bailey Zappi has thrown.
They only have 3
touchdown passes.
healthy wide receivers.
Hunter Henry has 2 touchdowns. Not a single soul anywhere has to. Juju Smith-Schuster has 82 yards receiving. I'm not sure he's done that in the last 5 years.
In the first quarter?
No,
First
they're
half.
halfway through the second now,
Oh.
which is still crazy.
Wait, they scored a touchdown on their first drive.
I think they've scored a touchdown on every drive. No, they did punt once.
No, all
No, they
right.
punted
Look,
twice.
no, they punted. Punt. Touchdown. 3
Wow, so
punts.
these have been some really short drives. Oh yeah, they have. 210,
No, the first
125,
drive was 75
132.
yards.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
concluded-
was looking at it from the top down. I should be looking at it from the bottom up.
That's what
You're
she
right.
said.
Correct.
Sure. Well, a lot of punts here. I have the Patriots defense somewhere in a league that I'm still in. You know, I'm still involved in. I'm still actively playing in.
You know, if Mike
all
Tomlin
right.
was ever on the hot seat, this would be the game.
Isn't that weird? Tomlin. All right, let's get into some NFL stuff. Why don't we? Jets' new team
guess we
names
could do
be
our-
the New York 3-pointers.
I guess we could do picks first, in the hopes that he wakes up.
So we're attempting to do this, Dave. I want to just let you know what's happening here. We're making all these adjustments on the fly.
After
you
you
ain't here.
generously got to go see the Iron Claw last night, he can't show up for a segment today. That's just not.
Well, hold on. On top
We
of that, didn't
started
he ask
earlier-
for it to be a little bit earlier?
We
Yes.
started
Wasn't
earlier
he the
just for
reason?
him,
Yes.
because we would be starting just about now, actually. Instead, we're
That's
now
right.
Sons
That's
of
right.
bitches.
I'm actually happy about that we're an hour deep instead of just starting.
I
now.
laughed at his review though. He said, "Oh, you'll never want to. You only want to watch it once." No, I'm just. That's not me. I'm not that kind of person. If it was
Well-
a completely fictional group of brothers doing fucking synchronized swimming, then yeah, I'd only want to watch it once. But it's the Von Erichs. It's wrestling. I'm gonna want to watch it more than once.
The early reviews are incredibly positive from what I've seen. Incredibly positive.
I go Wednesday. Wednesday I go to the special sneak preview, whatever the hell it
I'm
is.
definitely
so
not going to be able to see it till it comes out.
I want
That is not a movie I could take the missus to.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Why
I
did you
wanted
bring me
Dave
here?"
to be here.
It's like, I don't want to watch
Yeah.
this shit. Oh, God, fuck.
Death.
I think she'll think it's a wrestling movie. It's not a wrestling movie. It's a fucking travesty.
It's a catastrophe. Man.
I wanted to let Dave know because he's from South Miami. He lives in South Miami, and he complains all the time about going to Aventura. The day after the Aventura screening that he complained about, I received another invitation for what you're talking about, Timmy, for next Wednesday in his neck of the woods. So, all right. So let's do our picks. Last week,
that I've completely lost my ability to pick games. I don't get football this year. I don't get it. I have to take like a year, an Aaron Rodgers cave dwelling and just calm my nerves because I don't get it this year.
The cave dwelling. That sounds like fun.
I got it.
Terza says good night and F the Jets.
I don't even know what's our standings. I don't even know how I've been doing the last couple of weeks.
So last week, week 13, myself and Rodriguez went 9-4. Timmy, you and Ed went 8-5. I had these jacked up for just a moment right before the show started because for some reason I marked the Jags as winners over the Bengals, but that did not happen. So I had to go back and rework math. Bruce, Anthony, Keith 7-6, Dave and Eric go 6-7 last week. Dave missed on the Chargers. He missed on the Titans, the Broncos, the Saints. He picked the Jets. He missed on the Chiefs and the Jags, which we all missed. So, and by the way, my pick from last week, I immediately regretted sending it or posting it was the Browns. Why did I pick the Browns? Why did we all three of us pick the Browns?
Who they play?
The Rams.
Well,
you don't go with ding dongs.
Yeah, but I got I get seduced by that defense, man.
That defense, yeah, that's what happened.
Well, look, Myles Garrett is popping his shoulder back in, saying, "I'm good to go." He's like, dude, you fall for that shit. You're like, dude, Browns are going to win this fucking game.
So, I had the perfect by the way, I had the perfect 8-team parlay until the fucking Steelers fucked it up. Perfect. That's the only loss that I had in my parlay that I made. Stupid douchebags. Sorry. All right. So overall now I'm in first. I'm 3 games up on Dave. I'm 4 games up on Anthony and Ed. Timmy, you're 7 back. You've had a few rough weeks.
I just don't want to lose to Dave.
Don't lose to Dave. But Dave got far ahead. But not far ahead. I think it was 1 or 2 games ahead. But he started way back. Ed 4 out, Timmy 7 out, Bruce 8, Rodriguez 8, Keith 20, and Eric 22. Joe Flacco. This is something that we didn't. This is why I was like, Joe Flacco did well until the bad interception. Story of Joe Flacco's life, his career.
It was going well, and then I threw a pick.
It was going well until
Joe Flacco story.
That should be the title of his book. Just until him shrugging his shoulders.
Oh man, it's stupid. Super Bowl MVP, dumb. All right, so we all picked the Steelers. I feel like at this point, Dave shouldn't get the Patriots.
Yeah, he doesn't get the Patriots for not waking up. He gets the Steelers too. We just all get.
He gets the Steelers. We all just lose.
We all just lose. I think we should get the Patriots for a penalty for him not waking up.
All right, so I did not prepare beforehand for some reason. I'm always prepared, but the spreads. So we're not going to have that here. Hard Rock is what? Okay, I logged into my Hard Rock bet account. Dangerous. It said something about are you in Phoenix? That was weird. Weird situation there. All right, so let's get down to our picks this week. Again, no graphics. I apologize. You'll live. We got Patriots and Steelers, which is going on right now, but not really. Wait, what's the score? 21.
21-3.
Fucking name, man. You're right. You're about to go the over. Halftime.
What did it close at? Was it like 29?
29.5, I think it was. Which is absurd. Stupid. Like that.
That's
What we got
to break it in the first half. Oh wait, Raul just said 21-10. Who scored for the Steelers?
Raul, we need information. Who scored? If I hope it's
Deontay Johnson, 25-yard
Of
touchdown.
course it is, because I kept him on my bench. Well, actually, the playoffs haven't started in that league yet, and I've already made the playoffs. I don't need him. 21-10,
it's his only
31.
so far.
Of course it is. See, Deontay Johnson used to be before this quarterback here. He used to be a PPR machine because he would get 13 targets a game. He just would never score any touchdowns.
No, ever.
Like 65 yards, 40 catches. 65.
Is the knock on Drake May going to be Mitch Trubisky? They're going to be like, UNC QBs. I don't know.
Oh wow!
I'm just saying it could happen.
I know. All right. Let's get to it. Our world famous picks minus Dave this week. All right. First up on the slate, might be a little bit different from what I got here, just because. Oh, you're listening to the game on the radio. The Steelers are making the comeback. Look, we got the Steelers. We always like to see Bill Belichick upset. Did you see his interview post game?
I can't watch I can't watch his shit. He's just so miserable.
Anthony's got a fact. He is, but with that post game interview, is like they asked him, what's going to change on offense? Well, we got to get better.
Yeah.
I've told you.
Bill.
He's Captain Obvious.
And then he's like, the reporter is like, well, we're asking because the fans want to know. And Bill's like, oh, I don't know what to tell you.
Look, Amazon. I just hit play on Amazon and said, "Are you sure?" I go, "Yes." I said, "Are you really sure you want to watch this game?"
Positive. Did you click this by mistake?
Yeah, and then it switched to something else anyway.
Are you sure you don't want to watch Jack Reacher instead?
It's like Google when you search and you misspell it. Are you sure you didn't mean this?
That's how I fall in the rabbit holes. You know what? I kind of do want to watch Jack Reacher. Next time I'm watching 8 episodes of Jack Reacher.
It's 4:00 in the morning. You're like, shit, I'm gonna fucking wake up in an
hour.
hour.
4 seasons into Jack Reacher.
I'm famous. I went to watch The Boys, and all of a sudden I popped up and said, "Is that what was the show from the 80s? What the hell was the show's called? Head of the Class." I said, "Is that the original Head of the Class?" 7 episodes later, I'm like, "What happened to The Boys? Where the fuck did The Boys go?"
Man, these are shows that I even forgot about. I actually took a picture. Remember when you put up when you guys were going to do the A to Z program with the TV shows, the TV themes? Somebody brought up WKRP in Cincinnati, and I was like, I even forgot that was a fucking show. And one of the shows that they had on the cruise was Name That TV Theme. And that came up, and I was like, what is the odds that I haven't heard about this show in I don't know how long, in a week I've heard about it twice.
That's nothing. When I tell people there's actually a show called BJ and the Bear where a guy used to drive around a truck with a monkey, nobody believes me. I have to send them the link all the time. And they're like, "Dude, how old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 47. This show was in the late 70s. It's a real show." There's no way that's a show. Here's the YouTube video, asshole. Here it is.
It happened. I put into a work chat today. I put a GIF or GIF, depending on how you say it, in your neck of the woods of Alf, and nobody said a thing for like a half an hour. I was like, nobody in this chat knows who Alf is. He's from Melmac. He eats cats.
What's his real name? What's his real name?
My God, it used to be on back to back with what's that other show?
And by the way, I've used this name several times as the name of my head coach in Madden.
I can't
Yes.
remember.
You want to know?
Yes, I do.
Gordon Shumway.
Gordon Shumway, yes. Oh my God, what was the show that came on afterwards? On that girl robot. Was it
Small Wonder.
that Small Wonder? It's a small wonder.
Yep, with Vicky.
Anthony's like, you old fucks. Vicky. Oh my God, I couldn't remember the name. All right, let's get to our picks. Now.
I think I can
116.
talk about Gordon Shumway all day.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing. That didn't that stuff used to come on before Raw, like on USA Network, the reruns and stuff.
I remember the reruns being mostly on like Channel 5 at,
Blossom.
like, Sundays at like 5 o'clock. If you're home, you're like, "What's on?"
You're right.
Oh, fucking Small Wonder's on. Let me watch Small Wonder.
Raul says society is going down the drain with people not knowing these classic shows. It's up to us that love those shows to continue the trend. Teach the kids about Alf. Teach them.
And
Teach
BJ
'em
and the
about all that
Bear.
stuff.
I mean, come
BJ
on.
and the Bear. BJ and the Bear.
The guy in a monkey driving a truck.
What's not to love?
I shouldn't have to
all right.
explain any more than that.
That's it. You should be.
That's the entire plot. What more do you
Done.
need?
What more do you need? You don't need an Emmy-winning cast. You got a guy in a monkey driving a truck.
By the way, I just looked down at my the Filthy Animal shirt. There is a show that's going on. I haven't seen it anywhere here, but it's in London, where they play the movie and there's a live orchestra that plays the music throughout
for
the
Home Alone?
entire. Yes, and I saw it
Yeah.
on TikTok today, and I was like, "Son of a bitch, I'm jealous." Let's get on a flight to London.
I would go to that.
Hell yeah! I love orchestras. All right, let's move on back to football here.
You're
Let's
getting
reel it in.
sidetracked. Damn
Let's,
you, Gordon Shumway. All right, let's go.
Reel it in. First matchup here: Carolina at the Panthers.
No, can't be right.
Carolina at the Saints.
There we go. That sounds better.
The entire state of Carolina is beating up the Panthers. Some shit.
They're about
What
to
it
if
is, yeah.
Tepper keeps going down this path.
The Saints are a 4.5-point favorite here. I will start this off. I think we're all going to go with the Saints here. I don't think anybody has any faith in the Panthers, even though they have Chuba Hubbard. I say Chuba. All right, so that's a Saints kind of sweet. We don't know what Dave is going to go. Dave's a lost cause tonight. He's out. Late breaking news.
We'll see because of his allergies.
Allergies and PM. He's not seeing a movie tonight.
What's the AM?
Tuesday or can we please do this? Can we please do the show Tuesday or Thursday because I have a screening? Can we please do the show at 8:15, a little bit earlier? We do both of them for him, and he's still not here.
AM PM, we call him because his alarm never used to go off. So we used to joke around. Was it the AM PM? Was it the snooze? Like Seinfeld. Was it this? Was it that? So for a while we were calling him AM PM because we just didn't know.
Classic Seinfeld episode.
It's not the snooze, man.
Marathon.
It wasn't the snooze.
What was his name? Jean what? Jean.
John. What is John? John. What was it? Was the same name?
Okay.
Oh, Jean Paul. Jean Paul.
Yeah. Stay with me. I'll get you there.
Sidetracked again.
All right. Next up, and then he got hot cocoa or something, right? Hot tea. On the path instead of the water.
Instead of cold water.
Poor guy. All right. Next up, the Detroit Lions head to Chicago to play the Bears. The Lions are 3.5-point favorite here. Timmy.
Yep.
You know where I'm going.
It's a Lions sweep for now. I see that Dave still does not believe in the Lions. He did not pick the Lions last week. Who'd they play?
Let him hate.
He picked he was the only one who picked the Saints. He was the only one who picked the Jets. So he's maybe Dave's got some thinking to do. Life to ponder. Next up, the Houston Texans head to the Jets. Have no fear, Jet fans. Aaron Rodgers is coming back in a few weeks. Going to turn the season around. They're going to add 10 more games to the schedule so that they can get this turned around. The Houston is a 3.5-point favorite. I'm assuming. I don't want to make any assumptions. Zach Wilson's back in the starting lineup, guys.
Houston,
Zach
baby.
Wilson. Yeah, it's a Houston thing.
Yep, Texans.
Zach Wilson, who rumor is like, hey, you're a quarterback again. No, I don't want to be.
I'm good.
No, you're starting. Nah, I don't think I am.
The fact that was picked up by multiple reporters were reporting that, and Saleh tried to downplay it, but then when asked if Zach Wilson was going to start, he said he wasn't sure yet.
Yeah.
Definitely tells me it was a true story.
Saleh's an idiot. I didn't think he was as bad as what Timmy was
saying it.
I know, but I remember Timmy saying this guy's an idiot. Or this, I didn't think he was a good coach, but because he was reading off these things to get his players going and stuff. At least try a little bit harder there. But he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Aaron Rodgers. I agree with kind of what he said. If it's somebody in the locker room that's throwing these things out there, leaking these things, that's not championship caliber, which the Jets are not. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So Rodgers, know where you're playing now. You're not in Green Bay anymore, buddy.
Yeah, we don't agree all the time with Cowherd, but what Cowherd said, he fucking nailed it. This is what you get.
What did he say?
Because he just basically said, this is what you get for you got this prima donna quarterback. You bring in all his friends, all his coordinators. You do everything you want for this one guy, and guess what? He goes down fucking one snap into the season, and now you're screwed for the entire year. I was like, you're
Lazard,
right.
Cobb,
yeah.
Cook.
Cobb,
he wanted Cook.
Lazard, who's been healthy scratch 3 times.
Healthy scratch, and he got signed to a contract. It wasn't like a Cobb, here you go, as a veteran.
There was some serious guaranteed money on that deal.
That's nuts.
Nathaniel Hackett, who was considered one of the worst coaches last year, the head coach, like, oh no, I need him back. I need him. So they bring him in, and he fucking sucks.
The only guy on offense that I feel bad for is Garrett Wilson, because I think Garrett Wilson can ball, and
I was gonna say Breece Hall too.
Breece Hall also. But outside of that offense is a disaster. And I mean, the offense was meant to be a juggernaut, and it's a disaster. All right, next up, we got the Colts heading to the Bengals.
Lazard got a 4-year, $44 million contract with $22 million of that guaranteed. They cannot cut him until after next season, so he will be a Jet next year.
And what's his stat line so far this year?
Not very much.
Exactly.
He has 20 catches for 290 yards and 1 touchdown through 11 games. He has
Jamar Chase had that last week.
Only one healthy.
That's a quarterback's line for a year, for a week. 20 completions, 200 or whatever yards. That's wild. That's wild. But I'm not sad about it. All right, Colts at the Bengals. The Bengals are favored here by 1.5.
Are they?
On Hard Rock Bet. This is all on Hard Rock Bet. So Bengals are a 1.5-point favorite here. I'll start off. I'm going with the Colts.
So the Colts money line is plus money.
Colts money line is plus money, plus 100.
Wow,
that's a nice underdog parlay there. That's a
good starter right there.
I got the Colts. Timmy, yeah, right. Anything that's guaranteed doesn't work out.
Shit, man, that's a rough game actually. Colts.
Browning looked really good. Browning looked really good on Monday too.
He did. He looked really good.
Minshew mania, baby.
Oh, it's this Minshew guy.
Wait.
I can't take that, dude.
He got rid of the jorts, so Tim's not in anymore.
I don't know. Come back to me. Let me think another 30 seconds.
There's no one else to pick though.
Ant's got the Colts.
Oh yeah. I thought you didn't pick the Colts. I didn't pick yet. Yeah, give me the Colts. Give me the Colts. They're hot.
Colts sweep. All right, next up, you got Jacksonville heading to Cleveland. Who's starting
This
for
is a
Jacksonville? Who's starting for
fucking-
Cleveland? This is a fucking nightmare. Like,
This is a trap game right here. This fucking game. Fuck this game.
well, that's also true. But this game, I mean, when you think about it, what the Browns thought that they were getting in Deshaun Watson and what the Jacksonville Jags have in Trevor Lawrence, who's developing, not like one of our former colleagues thought. But this probably in a perfect world is an elite matchup here. But now we're getting two backup quarterbacks. And Cleveland is a 3.5 point favorite. They're home, and their defense. So if it's not Trevor Lawrence, I'm gonna go with the Browns here. Ant, who you got in this one?
I don't think Lawrence is playing. I know he was throwing today, but I think that's.
I lost
just
by
blowing
one.
smoke.
I lost by 1 point in a league that I have not yet made the playoff. I still got 1 week this week, but I got like a 65% chance to make playoffs. But that game last week, the Bengals and Jags, I was up, and if it had not gone to overtime, I would have been tied with this person, and I would have won with bench points. But the douchebags go to overtime, and ETN makes that one catch, and I lose by 1 point.
Well, could have been like me where you have Rashee Rice versus Isaiah Pacheco and Jaden Reed on Monday night, and Isaiah Pacheco gets ejected, so it has to be Rashee Rice
over.
on the final drive. He's open like 6 times. I literally needed one catch, just one catch. I think it didn't even matter how many yards it was. I think it's just if he caught one ball, I would have won.
PPR.
And it didn't happen, so I lost.
Fucking fantasy.
So, that's the difference between me playing Tim this week and me having a bye this week. I would not be playing at all this week.
Oh,
yeah. So very disappointed with that.
That's rough. That's rough. All right. So who we got here? I got the Browns. Anthony.
I am also going with the Browns.
Doo-doo Browns. Timmy. It's in
It's
Cleveland.
in Cleveland.
Yeah, doo-doo Browns.
The Browns.
Give me the doo-doos.
All right. Next up, we got the Rams visiting the Ravens. Ravens are a 7.5 point favorite here.
Hold the Ravens, nevermore.
Yep.
No ding dongs.
No ding
Edgar Allan Poe.
Clean Ravens sweep here. Lamar Jackson has a I don't want to say, I was going to say a disease of some sort, but he's got like the flu or something.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He'll be okay. All right. Next up, we got the Tampa Bucks, the yeast-led Bucks, heading to Atlanta. The Falcons are a 2.5 point favorite here.
The first place Falcons for under 500 records.
That's it.
No, they are 500. They're 6.
I'm sorry, they are
Yeah.
500, right?
They're going to be above 500 this week. Spoiler to my pick. I got the Falcons.
I don't like the reports of growing turmoil in the Bucks locker room. That's not a good sign.
That's Baker Mayfield for you.
I will
Excuse
take
me.
the Falcons.
Yeah, give me the Dirty Birds.
The
Fucking
Dirty
Birds.
Bird. All right. We got a sweep here with Raul.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Minnesota gets a certain wide receiver back this week, minus the quarterback that had that connection. But let's see. We don't know. Maybe Dobbs will have that connection. But Minnesota heads to Vegas. Minnesota is a 2.5 point favorite here.
Minnesota.
I'll take
little
the
Vikings.
Raiders on that one.
I'm gonna go with the Vikings. All right, Ant went a little different there.
What is this week? 13? 14?
14.
14.
15, 16. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to start getting crazy pretty soon.
You gotta get silly.
Whatever Steve picks, just give me the opposite. I gotta try to make up some points soon.
All right. Next up, we got a NFC West matchup. Seahawks not playing well, fading kind of here against the 49ers.
Yeah, okay. Don't even ask me.
49ers. Little
Fucking Geno
49ers.
Smith. I love it.
Yep.
I love the fact that he's funking and failing. I love it.
Stupid douchebag. Still took Eli's streak away from him. Stupid douchebag asshole. Then,
Okay.
all right.
Can I give you an update real quick?
Yes, please.
On one of these touchdowns, Bailey Zappi was so happy with himself, like he's the greatest quarterback ever. It literally went through a Steelers' fucking hands, right into the receiver's hands. Like literally, like the defender was like this. It should have been an easy INT. It went whoop, and the guy caught it. And Zappi's acting like he threw the greatest pass in the Super Bowl history. Jerk off.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, to the other guy.
Pinpoint actually to the defender.
Look at that Ezekiel Elliott line. Wow, he's on fire. 10 rushes for
Is he?
22 yards.
He did score a touchdown on a pass, 11-yard pass. All right, next game up here, the Buffalo Bills head to Kansas City. If we thought about this at the beginning of the year, this would be like elite, must-see 4:00 game, and it still is. Don't get me wrong, nobody's gonna not watch this game because of them not doing as well as they thought that they were going to do. Both sides. Kansas City is a 1.5 point favorite here in Kansas City. Just 1.5 points.
Well,
This is wild.
They haven't been looking like themselves. How, by the way, is Travis Kelce a Pro Bowl tight end for the first half of the season? He hasn't done shit all year.
I don't know what his stats
He
look
still leads tight end in receiving.
It's all because of Taylor Swift, and we fucking know it. Come on.
He leads tight ends in receiving yards still.
In the AFC. Let me clarify
AFC.
that. I think there are some NFC ones that are doing better.
Cocky balls. It's all because of
Kyle
Taylor.
Pitts.
It's all because of Taylor Swift. We all know he's winning the popular vote.
Raul says the Chiefs and Taylor Swift are going to win this game.
Yeah, his numbers are actually not bad. 74 for 813 and 5. I mean, he's going to probably bring another 1,000-yard season here.
I'll take it.
Actually, the only tight end that has more receptions than him is T.J. Hawkinson, and I don't think any tight ends have more yards than him other than T.J. Hawkinson. Actually, no, he has more yards than T.J. Hawkinson, so I take that back.
That's like saying
so
that.
he is the leader in all of football at that position.
I'm verifying.
And why is it every
verified?
Why is it every game I watch he doesn't make a catch? Like, what am I watching?
I don't know what to tell you, but he leads the NFL for tight ends and receiving.
Every game I watch, he's not doing shit. So I must be missing a lot.
Fumbling.
I think we're just used to him putting up like 1,500-yard seasons, and this year he's going to have like 1,080 yards, and so everyone's like, "What the hell?"
Fucking Taylor,
you bastard! All right, so who we got here? Buffalo at the Chiefs. Chiefs again, 1.5 point favorite. This is weird to me, even saying that in Kansas City.
Did anyone think that if we were describing a game late in the season between two AFC powerhouses, and they are the 4th seed currently and the 10th seed currently in the AFC, that it would be this game? I don't think so. I'll take the Chiefs at home though. Coming off a loss, I think they come back.
I agree.
But which would
is the must-win situation for
end
Bills.
Buffalo's season, by the way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. All right. Let me get back to my Hard Rock Live here. Denver heads to the Chargers, who we spoke about earlier. We spoke about their tendency of not doing well and coughing up games and whatnot. But they are a 2.5 point favorite here against the Broncos. Broncos been playing well as of late. Russell Wilson not turning the ball over, playing well. Running game has been there. And Cortland Sutton, he's been making plays out there. If not for Sutton, I don't know where the Broncos are. I'm not saying that he's the MVP, but he's been making a lot of big plays, a lot of big catches, clutch catches, etc. we'll start with Anthony on this one. Broncos, Chargers.
I will take the Broncos, getting back in the W column, eating a W.
Eating a little
Maybe Brandon Staley's last game.
Yep.
That's
Hopefully Brandon Staley's last game.
I agree. I like the Broncos too. I think the Chargers are done. I think they're finally starting to quit.
I think that 6-0 victory over the Patriots last week might have done them in.
Justin Herbert's had dreams of blue, red, white, and blue.
By the way,
Red Sox.
has the team ever scored 0 points and covered the spread? The spread of 6.5. Has that ever happened before? We covered, guys.
We did it.
Victory.
We did it. All right. Next up, this is the game that everybody's talking about. Eagles at the Cowboys. Cowboys are a 3.5-point favorite. I heard a very interesting stat today, and I don't remember the exact stat, but teams over the last 20 or so games, after losing to the 49ers, are 3-17 or some shit. They say it's because it's such a physical game because of the Nick Bosa led defense. Sorry, Ed. I could not.
Wait,
Has he cracked the top 15 in sacks yet?
That may have just woken up Dave. He might have heard the Nick Bosa thing.
They heard Bosa.
But hey, Nick Bosa. He's gonna wake up right now like Beetlejuice and come popping on the show.
But in all seriousness, they it's not a good record after you lose or after you play the 49ers. Look, he has
not cracked the top 15 in sacks.
What is he at?
He's
Where's
at 16.
All right, he's going. He's getting close.
He's close. Not there yet.
So, I thought that was interesting. I mean, it's not okay, this is going to decide the game, but over the last 20 games, again, we don't know the winning percentages of these teams that are coming off these losses and whatnot, but that's a 20-game sample is not bad from a betting perspective. But this game is in Dallas. Dallas has been playing very well at home. Eagles coming off the loss to the 49ers. Timmy, let's start with you on this one.
I actually like the Cowboys. Well, let me rephrase that. I picked the Cowboys. Yeah. I don't want to using that clip against me ever. I picked the Cowboys.
I would never do such a thing ever. Ever. All right, Ant, who you got in this one?
I'm actually taking the Eagles. Statistically, it says you should probably take the Cowboys here. I just don't like a team like that coming off of a big loss. I understand the stats against teams who lost to the Niners the week before, but I have my own Niner stats that we're going to go over after the picks. Just a few things we're going to discuss. But I will take the Eagles in this one.
You're going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Make your pick, and then I'll get my Nick Bosa.
I'm just picking the Cowboys because they're the home team.
Nick Bosa again looked like a mere mortal against an actual NFL caliber tackle in the NFL. Just throwing that out there.
Did you see
plenty of highlights of Lane Johnson taking his lunch this week?
Yeah, did you see that thing I posted too of how T.J. Watt's getting robbed of sacks?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nick Bosa is getting half sacks for plays that he wasn't even involved in. So
he doesn't need any more ammunition on this.
Listen. I told Dave this already. I said, dude, I'm just saying. Anthony comes with the fucking facts, man. He changed my mind after his pinpoint fucking presentation. I was like, dude, fuck Nick Bosa, fuck that guy.
But then, and Tim talked about this before. After I show you that, and then you watch him a little closer, you're like, holy shit, this guy doesn't win any matchups against decent tackles ever. I
watched the game right after you showed that. I think the guy just fell down, and Bosa was like, "Oh, let me touch you." I was like, "That's right, it's a fucking fake sack."
It's a fugazi.
He does, man.
It was.
What he does.
Joey
Bosa is not much better, by the way.
Like the guy acted like it was like the greatest sack ever.
Go watch like some of the sacks that like Kayvon Thibodeau is getting right now, and then go watch some of the sacks that Nick Bosa gets, and it's like night and day. It's night and day. Nick Bosa completely unblocked gets a sack. Kayvon Thibodeau beats double team and then chases down scrambling quarterback to get the sack.
All right. So, the schedule makers saw it fit to give us 2 Monday night games, two excellent games.
There's really 2 Monday night games this week?
There's really 2 Monday night games, and they started the exact same fucking time.
Why the fuck do they
we're
do
doing.
that? Oh
Well,
my
Anthony, right?
God.
Didn't they used to, when they did these double headers, they would have a 7 o'clock game, and then it's West Coast,
7:15
Yeah,
and
almost like a
10:30.
baseball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
7:15,
West
10:30.
Coast game.
Perfect.
No.
You're telling me it was great because then like 11 o'clock rolls around, you're like, man, I don't want to go to sleep yet. That's all right. First quarter of the Monday Night Football game's on.
Yeah, exactly. But now, this is
And
happening.
these are the 2
So,
games. What the
these are
fuck?
the 2.
What,
These are
my
the 2
teams.
games,
Both of our teams are involved, and it's still terrible.
and we don't want any of it. We don't want any of it.
I don't want nothing to do with
all right.
the game.
The first game, the red hot Green Bay Packers, red hot quarterback Jordan Love, just sizzling over there without a running game.
Did the Packers do it 3 times in a row? Did they do it 3 times in a row?
That's awful. Just congrats to the Packer fans, but that's fuck you. That's what that is.
He looks. He looks really fucking good.
He looks
there.
like Aaron Rodgers. Some of his throws.
He does.
He watched Rodgers for 3 years, whatever years, and just committed to everything to his memory. He will make the sidearm throws. He's running on the go, 3/4 arm. All this stuff. He looks just like Aaron Rodgers, whatever amount of years ago. And
I wrote that in your ad. He looks really fucking like a whole different quarterback all of a sudden.
Unbelievable.
Well,
all right. Well, that's what we got.
You got to think though that was his first stretch of starting games, and so now he's got some time under his belt, and he looks phenomenal. Looks really good back there. And what's really crazy, think about how young their weapons are. They have the youngest offensive weapons group in all of football. The average age of 25, and they have Aaron Jones, who's like 29 as part of that group. So that number is even going to go down further next year. Man, he looks good. He looks good. I don't know what else to say. He looks good.
All right. Well, we're all picking the Packers here. That's what I heard. That's what I hear out of you guys.
Strictly the fact that it's Monday night, I'm picking the Packers.
Do they lose Monday night games like ever?
Oh my God, they don't win. The Giants never win a Monday night game.
How about the opposite?
Oh.
So we have a team that doesn't lose on Monday night versus a team that doesn't win on Monday night. Gee, what's gonna happen? Packers, by the way.
If there's no sun outside, they don't win. If there's no sun, they don't win.
They're like, guys, the sun went down. It's bedtime. Come on.
It's like they're fucking Superman. Need the fucking radiation from the sun to play a game.
This year, it's night games and games below 65 degrees. They don't feel well in. Just for spread purposes, the Packers are a 6.5 point favorite in Jersey. Over under here is 36.5.
I hate that these games start at the same time. So
Next game up, the final game of the week, the Titans, led by
Yes, we know.
the greatest quarterback of all time.
Greatest quarterback ever, who I started last week in fantasy. I had Lamar Jackson on a bye. And Will Levis was kind of like the only dude out there.
That team needs a lot of retooling.
So that's how that went. That's the league that I lost by 1 point in.
How about him getting in DeAndre Hopkins' ass though for not running the route like he should have?
Right?
How about that from a rookie? How about that?
That was pretty impressive.
I like it.
How about him?
I do like that.
Following his fucking pass like a layup, following it, and then scooping up the fumble.
Yes.
Come on.
You got to do everything
Hustle.
around here.
I know.
The
Jesus.
hustle, the hunger.
Get the guy
You
some
got it.
help.
Unbelievable.
Like fucking Jordan without any help with the Bulls. Get the guy some help.
Well, and now Derrick Henry goes down.
There's a shock.
God.
That should be Derrick Henry's biography. I went down again. That's it. Derrick Henry's story.
All right, so the other game is the Titans at the Dolphins. Dolphins are a 12.5 point favorite here. I don't think we need to say anything else. But that's your Monday night schedule. That's what's happening on Monday night.
Dolphins win, but Will Levis looks like an angel on Christmas morning.
Will Levis goes 3 touchdowns, 375 yards, and a rushing score
Well,
of
Miami
36
scores,
yards.
Well, Miami scores
Just-
62 on that defense.
Just to throw this out there, since Jalen Ramsey has joined the Dolphins defense, the Dolphins rank top 5 in almost every defensive statistical category. Just throwing that out there.
Since
Try not to be too optimistic, but I'm a little optimistic right now.
since the Broncos game, the Broncos gave up like 95 points. Or
Since,
some
yeah.
weird shit. Since
And
giving
yet-
up 70 to the Dolphins.
But have you seen the defensive DVOA stats? They still rank, I think, like 31st in defensive DVOA, even though they've been top 10 almost every week since in defensive DVOA because of how bad that game was for their DVOA rankings. Which
nightmare.
I would argue if one game hurts your DVOA that bad, maybe you should rethink the formula, but that's a different argument.
You got a point there. You got a point there, sir. The third quarter started. It's 21-10. Steelers with the football. All right.
I got it on right here.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry. But nothing.
I haven't turned it on. I check the score every couple minutes, but I haven't turned it on.
Steelers are on the move. Though. They're on the move.
All right. So I don't want to wait on the QB game only because stats will change because some of these stats are in-season stats.
And
so
and it's more work on you, is what
I mean. I don't mind because I actually enjoy putting these together. But so I have some Niners stuff though. Do you want to do the Niners stuff first, or do you want to do it straight to the QB game?
Let's do the Niners stuff first.
Okay.
I'm getting
okay.
organized here. If you see my head just going like this,
I'm gonna spit some stats out to you guys. Okay. And some of these stats are very evidently better than the other, but hear me out. Brock Purdy this season averaging 27.6 pass attempts per game. And these stats are going to be Brock Purdy this season versus Jimmy G's career with the Niners, okay? So that's the preference of this time frame we're looking at. Purdy this year, Jimmy G career with the Niners. 27.6 pass attempts per game for Brock Purdy, 29.67 per game for Jimmy Garoppolo. Win percentage, Brock Purdy, 0.667. He's won 2/3 of his games this year. Jimmy Garoppolo won 69% of his games as a starter for the Niners. Completion percentage, Jimmy Garoppolo, 67.6%. Brock Purdy currently sitting at 70%. Average time to throw. This is over the entirety of his time in San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo averaged 2.3 seconds average time to throw. Brock Purdy currently is sitting at 2.6 seconds for the season. And passing success rate, which, again, this metric is based on if you gain 40% of the yards needed to gain a first down when passing the ball on first down, 60% of the yards needed to get a first down on second down, and a first down on third down if you pass the ball. Brock Purdy's success rate is 54%, or 54%, excuse me, and Jimmy Garoppolo's is 50.4%. Now, obviously, Purdy ranks higher in some of those categories than his counterpart Jimmy Garoppolo. However, I do present one difference between the two. One of them has Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, and the other one never did. And I don't know if anyone's watched football recently. Christian McCaffrey is really good, really good.
No, he got that. He didn't score a touchdown a few weeks ago.
Oh, but he scored one every other week, so it's okay. Or two in most of those weeks. Are we really that sure that Brock Purdy is any different than Jimmy Garoppolo? Because at this point in time, statistically speaking, we're going to get into the QB game before we start talking about all that. Are we really that sure, though, that there's that big of a difference between him and Jimmy G? Like, honestly. Is there?
It just seems like it. Because they're like, I don't know.
Where was Jimmy G
winning better
compared to Brock?
But that goes back to what I said before. Jimmy Garoppolo never got to play a game with Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy has never played a game without Christian McCaffrey. That's a big difference. And I understand that the Niners have had good running games in the past. They haven't had Christian McCaffrey before. It's a big difference. It's a huge difference.
I agree.
All I'm saying is I think we're a little transfixed that Brock Purdy is this great thing, and I think he's just Jimmy Garoppolo.
MVP.
Ready for the QB game? I got some MVP stuff for you.
No.
I got some MVP stuff for you. I'm not telling
Let
you
me
the
see.
names. I'm not telling you the names.
I know you're
until
not.
after each one, and I will track who picks which quarterbacks and where they rank them.
Oh God.
All right. I just wanted to look again at the MVP stuff to see if anything changed. I mean, there's a moth. Eric would be going nuts. There's a moth flying around. Eric would be dying. But on just looking on FanDuel or DraftKings has Purdy ahead of Prescott. I think the fact that we're talking about Purdy and Prescott as MVP, both of them, is saying something about the quarterback play this year. You know, normally you got Mahomes and you got Josh Allen and Lamar's out there. You got Dak, you got Purdy. Mahomes is fourth at plus 700, depending on what you look at. And the obvious glaring thing to me on the MVP part is that as I look down, Prescott, Purdy, Hurts, Mahomes, Tua, Lamar, and I stop here, Tyreek Hill. In my opinion, there's no other team in the NFL that is as different as they are if you take Tyreek Hill off the Dolphins. So I get this is a quarterback. This is a quarterback award, but if I'm voting here and I'm looking logically, I'm voting for Tyreek Hill as MVP. Not going to happen.
Let me ask you this though. So if Tyree gets to 2,000 yards, he's on pace for just shy of 2,100 right now. If he gets to say he gets to 2,100 yards, and the Dolphins hold on and are the first seed in the AFC, does he win? No chance.
No.
Until it happens.
Yeah.
See, I think
until they
win. Go ahead.
Until they set that precedent, until they say, "Holy shit, okay, maybe this shouldn't be a quarterback award. Maybe the most valuable player in this situation is not the quarterback. Maybe it is. I'm not. This is not a fight against Tua, but it's more of how
I didn't take
friggin'
it
valuable Tyreek Hill is. Like he gets 6 yards of separation on every single thing. Like I'm not saying that everybody can do it to what Tua is doing. But a lot of quarterbacks would love 6 yards of separation on every single route run.
Tyreek Hill is having the greatest season we've ever seen from a wide receiver.
Better than Calvin Johnson. You think of Megatron.
It's the greatest season we've seen from a wide receiver. And I don't think it's. I won't say it's like that far ahead because obviously Calvin Johnson's 1,900-yard year was incredible. Randy Moss's 28 touchdown year was phenomenal. What Cooper Kupp did a couple years ago was unbelievable. Tyreek Hill is having the greatest season ever by a wide receiver. And I wouldn't argue that. I think the reason that neither of them win an MVP award is because the fact that both of them will get votes. They're going to cannibalize themselves. Exactly. And therefore, neither will win. And so it's unfortunate because I do agree with you on this wholeheartedly. If a Dolphin is going to win an MVP award this year, it has to be Tyreek Hill. 100%. No question. Has to be Tyreek. So
it's just wild. Like you could drop back, almost close your eyes, chuck the ball as far as you can go, and Tyreek's probably going to catch it.
There have been teams this year that have bracketed him, and for those who don't know what a bracket coverage is, it usually means you have a DB up on the line of scrimmage, and that DB is responsible for essentially the first 5 to 10 yards. You then have a safety, or
and it's
sometimes they use a linebacker. Yeah, or sometimes it'll be an extra corner that is responsible for him for the next 15 or so yards after that stretch. And then you have another safety over the top of that is responsible for the deeper part of it. They call it a bracket coverage because he is boxed in with 3 defenders. This man has been bracketed several times this year. And instead of like running crazy routes or anything to beat the bracket, he literally just runs straight through it and beats it. I've never seen that before. Calvin Johnson was 6'5", 240 pounds, and ran a 4.340, and I never saw Calvin Johnson run through a bracket coverage. I would see him moss all 3 defenders in a bracket, but I've never just seen anybody just literally ball is snapped, run straight through it, and
24
no one
miles
can
an hour.
him. Unbelievable.
20. That's a human being, guys.
Speeding in a school zone. Speeding in a school zone. Remember that. And if he was in a school zone, he would get a ticket.
All right. let's get to your. I don't want to say hour because this is this is almost the equivalent in sports talk as Saw.
Saw.
This is
Do you want to play a game?
as the Saw movies. Yes.
Do you want to play a game?
Now I'm gonna be
Now-
looking behind me. And there's no fucking pig mask behind me. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's, all of a sudden my ankle
I
has
should
changed. to
buy
something-
this.
some
I should
shit.
buy the Saw mask to wear while we do these QB games.
All
Just-
right, which
just
one are we
bring it
starting
up.
with?
I sent
You
them
let
to
me
you in
know.
an order. I sent them to you in an order. They should have been labeled.
I don't know if that is accurate anymore. Give me QB1 and whatever the stat is that first stat there.
Touchdown to interception.
There we go. Okay, let's do it.
This is the first one.
This is
I'm not
live. This is
tell-
what you get. It's live.
Yep.
I hate
and
it.
I have titled all of these the games, so each individual QB set has a title for it. But I'm not telling you the title until after you guys make your picks. Put it on the
All right,
board.
I
Let's
think it
go.
is this guy. Let's
I was really hoping Mello was going to show up right as we're starting it.
Shh, the baby needs to sleep.
All right, let's there we go.
Okay, so I will explain the stats so everyone understands.
Hate this game.
The first column is touchdown to interception ratio. So this is the amount of touchdowns that they throw per interception. The next stat is yards per game. Very simple. The amount of passing yards that they throw per game. On target percentage is the amount of passes that are deemed catchable that they throw. Percentage of yak. What this stat means is the percentage of their total yards that are gained after the catch. So more so, the percentage of the yards that are picked up by the receiver and not by them throwing the ball. Pocket time is the average time in the pocket. And then the poor drop one, this one's a little crazy, but essentially the first number in that category is the amount of poor passes, which are deemed either uncatchable or interceptable passes thrown per game. The second is the amount of drops that their receivers give them per game. Those are per game stats, that last one.
So
you have
none of these are Patrick Mahomes because there's not 7 drops per game.
you don't
I'm
you
kidding,
don't
I'm
know
kidding.
that. You don't know
I
that.
know I don't know that. I think I
I'll-
know who QB2 is though.
I would love to hear your guess, but I won't tell you until after.
I know because you're a jerk. All right.
So
All right,
feel free to start ranking. I will be tracking your ranking.
I hate your stupid face.
Wait, what are we? Wait. Are you giving us the quarterbacks? And we have to guess which one's which, or are we just guessing randomly?
We're gonna
them
rank
1 through 4.
Oh, rank 1 through. Okay, I thought we were doing the name thing again. Like, guess who's who.
Rank them 1 through 4, and then I'll tell you who is who. And I'll give you the title of it, and then I'll name who's who. So you can start at 1 or 4 or wherever you want to start. Just you let me know.
Let me see. Can I average it all together? Yak.
So just to make sure that is understood, for like QB1 there, that means 44% of his passing yards are gained after
yeah.
it's completed.
Okay,
I want to just announce one more time that I hate this game.
I'm not too fond of it either at the moment.
I just want you guys to know that this is literally my favorite thing I've ever done on this show.
I can't tell by the giant smile on your face.
I can't stop smiling. When I made this the other, it's been like a week now. I brushed them up 2 days ago, but when I made this, I was literally laughing the whole time like a maniac.
You see,
this isn't even, and just so you know, this isn't even my favorite one of the 3 that we're going to play. The second one is going to be my favorite, and I'll explain why after.
I want everybody to understand that at this point, I am going against what I would originally have said before we ever started these quarterback games. This is the overthinking.
Honestly. Rank them honestly. Don't try and get cute. Rank them honestly.
Go
Don't
ahead,
tell me
Steve.
what to
Go.
do.
Steve, go.
All right. I'm going with I'm gonna go with QB1. No, I'm going with QB3 as my number 1.
Love it. Love it.
Damn it! I hate that you love it.
I'm 4 is my number 1.
I love that
If-
too.
Let
This
me
was
explain
great.
something to you. If number 3 is Baker Mayfield, you're fired. I just want you to know that right now.
Okay.
So you went with number 4 as number C. You went with the least amount of yak as your number 1.
Because that's a better quarterback to me. That's a better.
Tim
'Cause
brings
Yak-
up a valid point.
Yeah, because
It
Yak,
It does,
you know,
but see, I went right in the. Where did I go? Number 3. So
like,
I'm
Tua-
like,
like you just used me the perfect example with Tyreek Hill. Is fucking Tua throwing for 500 yards a game? No. Tyreek Hill's running for fucking 300 of those.
all right. What'd you say, Timmy? Is your
I'm
number
going
1
with-
4?
As 4 is my number 1. 4.
I feel like there's an MVP candidate at number 2. Feel like it because of the yak and the videos I've seen the last few days.
I can tell you right now. 4, 2, 1, 3. 4, 2, 1,
Okay,
3.
so
Final answer.
I'm gonna go with 3. Fuck, I hate this fucking game.
Wait, 3 is your 1. 3 is your 1 is what you're saying.
I don't know, but yes. 3 is my 1. We'll go with number 1 is my 2.
Okay.
2 is my 3. And 4 is my 4.
Okay. So the name of this game was Are We Sure? Are we sure? Are we sure? Okay, so
Yeah, but before you reveal, can I just name who I think is number 2, and then you let me know when it is?
Absolutely, 100%.
Number 2, I feel is 1,000% without looking is Brock Purdy.
It's absolutely not Brock Purdy.
Fuck you.
Absolutely not Brock Purdy. But Brock Purdy is on this list.
I know.
Bastards. Brock Purdy is on this list. Do you know who number 2 is? Do you want to know who number 2 is? You want me to reveal 2 first, or should I save 2 for last?
Wait, what was my order? I wrote. Wait, hold on. Time out. T. I put 3 for my first and third. Did I put number 2 third?
You had 2. You had QB3 1, QB1 2,
and number.
Is that right?
QB2 3. Yes.
You
3 1 2 4.
You wanted QB2 2.
2, 2.
No, 3 1 2 4.
3 1 2 4. No, that's not what you told me.
Is not.
Go from top to
3
bottom with your order.
3 is number 1.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. I misunderstood you. Yeah, 3 1 2 4. That's correct.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. The top QB on this list is Brock Purdy this season.
Which one?
Number 1, the top one. QB1
Number
is
1.
Brock Purdy. Okay. QB2 is Jimmy Garoppolo's 2022 season. So just last year. QB3, and Steve, you're going to love this one. QB3, your number 1 quarterback, is Russell Wilson this year. And QB4,
I've said Russell Wilson's played better this year, okay?
QB4 is Jordan Love since week 7. So from week 7 until now, that's Jordan Love. Which that is when his hot streak has kicked in. So are we again? I
Russell
asked
Wilson
question,
number 1,
that
Brock
sure
number 2.
Brock Purdy is that much better than some of these names, because these are not names that are meant to inspire. Jimmy Garoppolo, Russell Wilson, and Jordan Love. Brock Purdy's numbers are pretty in line with those guys. Just saying. I will say this before we get into QB game number 2. The second game is by far my favorite one.
Let's go.
By far, million percent.
Which one's the
my
second
favorite.
one?
It starts with completion percentage,
Okay.
and I can't wait for this one. These are simpler stats. I will say that.
Let me get this one going here. All right, so I had in that one as I get this going, Russell Wilson number 1.
Yep.
From this year. I had Brock number 2, and then I had Jimmy G and Jordan Love.
Jimmy G's 2022 and Jordan Love from week 7 until now.
Right. And then Timmy had Jordan Love.
Yep.
Jimmy G, then Brock.
And then Russ.
And then Russell Wilson. I think that makes sense from his standpoint.
Yeah, because I hate Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is the most overrated quarterback in that list. So I'm happy with at least that one.
I think you can make a case that 3 of the 4 quarterbacks on that list are overrated. But
that's true. But I've always said Russell Wilson was terrible. Always. And I'll back that.
I'm here to vouch for that. Is this the one? This is number 2?
This is my favorite one. 138% my favorite one.
Guys.
Okay.
So wait, hold on. Sorry, Peter. I'm not sure if you could see that. That's the moth. This is the moth.
Did you say
flying
PETA?
around?
Are you talking to the PETA organization that you
can't?
Yes.
I don't need them.
No, you should be talking to Eric. Tell Eric you can put it in an envelope and send it to him.
Send it. All right, go ahead. Ant, what we got here?
Completion percentage is our first stat category. The second stat category is yards per attempt. The third category is touchdown percentage. So the
definitely not Daniel Jones.
The percentage of these quarterbacks' throws that went for a touchdown. The next category is interception percentage. So the percentage of their throws that went for an interception. Win percentage. I should have just put win. Don't ask me why I just put a W. That's my fault. It should have just said win percentage. It would have been more self-explanatory. And the last category is, of course, QB rating. So have at it, gentlemen.
Douchebag puts 2 at the same QB rating.
These are very close. Like very.
What an asshole.
I said this was my favorite game for a reason.
But win
the fact
percentage mean shit.
I was tickled with myself that I came up with this one. I was so happy with myself when I came up with this one.
I think.
And the name for this one is going to be phenomenal as well.
I'm sure you're going to laugh, but I think 2 is the most obvious number 1 for me.
You have no idea how much I love that.
2.
I mean, no idea how much I love it. I will say this. I don't think either of you will be mad with the results of this.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I'm ignoring.
I'm gonna be angry.
I'm ignoring win percentage because that's a team thing. I don't buy into that shit. So I'm gonna ignore that. But QB rating 92, 7 point. I'm gonna go with number 2, number 1.
Okay.
2. Fucking interception. 2 4 3 1.
2 4 3 1. 2 4 3 1. I gotta say, Tim, I'm a little disappointed with how you finished your list, but that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 4 at number 1.
Like this is like Phil Sims from 1979 in Morehouse College. So what?
It's Phil Sims, Jeff Hostetler, Eli Manning. All right, I'm going 4.
4-1. 4 is your number 1.
4 is my 1. Let me see your face. What does your face look like when I say that?
It's blank. You're not going to get nothing. You're not getting nothing until the end.
I'm going 4. I'm going fuck. I'm going 4 3.
3 is your 2?
4 3 1 2. I hate you so much right now.
So you've opposited Tim's number 1, which I think is interesting. I think that's very interesting. Okay, so ready for the title of this one?
Please.
This one is titled "The Battle of New York."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Battle of New York.
Ken Graham is in there somewhere.
The first quarterback on this list is the passing paisan himself, Tommy DeVito.
Number one?
That's QB1 is Tommy DeVito right now. QB2 on this list is 2018 Eli Manning. QB number 3 on this list, maybe he doesn't count for the Battle of New York because he's only taken like 4 snaps in New York, but this is 2022 Aaron Rodgers. And QB number 4 on this list is 2022 Daniel Jones. And the reason I was so happy with this is because I was absolutely positive that I was going to get Melo twice to put Daniel Jones ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
I think so.
I actually think I was going to get him to put Tommy DeVito ahead of Aaron Rodgers as well with that win percentage, which is why I put it in there. I 100% thought the win percentage is definitely going to allow him to put Tommy DeVito ahead of Aaron Rodgers, and I will be the happiest man alive.
Yeah, I knew that's why I had it, because I don't trust the winning percentage. I don't trust that because it's a team game.
Yes.
I mean,
Worst stat in football.
47% win percentage is not great, but the 31 for Eli is not great either. But that was his last season. That was 2018. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. His line right there.
2018. He was scared.
He was very scared.
And the reason I picked that year for Eli is because I was trying to find an interception percentage for him that was in line with the other ones. And so 2018 was the one that stuck out, which I believe was actually his lowest interception percentage of his career at 1.9. We do know Eli liked to throw some picks here and there, but Super Bowl rings don't matter. He got the ring, so no one cares. It doesn't matter.
All right, so I think
the guy tried to break some records. It's all right. Good and bad. He tried to break some records.
All right, so we have one QB game left.
Ugly.
One QB game left.
All right, one more QB game left here, and I think it's this one.
That would be correct. That is the one.
Look at me. Every now and then. Here we go.
These stats are relatively self-explanatory. We already saw percentage of yak. So again, this is the total passing yards, the percentage of those yards that were gained after the catch. On target percentage, we went over that one before. That is the amount of the percentage of their throws that are deemed on target or catchable. A dot is average depth of target, so the average distance that their passes go in the air before they would be caught. Touchdown percentage is another one that we've used. Interception percentage is another one that we've used. And total touchdowns is the fourth one. So that is the total amount of touchdowns that player has or amassed, however you want to word that.
Fucking shit. I
thought you were going to come out with a number.
Yeah, I'm going one at one.
I will say this before you guys get into this. You guys might not like me on this one.
I don't care. I think it's.
I haven't liked you on any of them.
Well, you're really not gonna like me on this one.
1 4 3 2. 1 4 3 2. 1 4 3 2.
I like it.
1 4 3 2.
It's probably 4 fucking Dak Prescott, Steve. So don't worry about it.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna go with number 3 as my number 1.
Yep, you guys are gonna hate me.
Fuck.
By the way, the Patriots decided to go for it on 4th and 2 instead of kicking a very easy field goal, and they didn't get the 4 and 2. Now they fucking turned the ball over.
What score?
It's still 21-10.
Does it? No.
No, they literally had the ball on the 15. Instead of kicking an easy field goal, they went for it and didn't get it.
All right, I'm going 3.
3 is 1.
3 is 1. I am going 3-1. Please hold. 2-4.
3-1, 2-4. All right. So the title of this one was "Who is your MVP?" So this is a list of MVP candidates. Excitement,
So
yay!
Dak Prescott is in there, fucker.
Not only is he in there, Tim, he is
My
your
number
number
one.
He
I
is your
figured
number
that.
one. Dak
Listen,
Prescott, number
Listen,
one.
they figured out a way to not put the game on his back, not put the game on his shoulders, and he's played very well this year. I'm not gonna, I hate the guy because I hate on the Cowboys, but they finally figured out that this fucking guy can't be responsible for the entire game, and it's worked to their advantage. So I'm not upset.
Having arguably his best season of his career. Dak is number one.
Yeah,
Number
without
two,
putting the pressure on him. Steelers just did something good. I don't know what.
QB2 on this list is Brock Purdy.
Steelers blocked the punt.
QB3 on this list, and Steve's number one is Jalen Hurts. And QB4 on this list is Tua Tagovailoa. So there are your four leading.
All right, well,
MVP
that makes
candidates.
me happy.
The Tua part, I don't care because, like I said, he's not winning MVP regardless. But I was interested to see because I kind of thought I wanted to see if you got because I kind of thought you both would go Dak one because the numbers when you look at them like that, in my opinion, seem very like it seems like Dak kind of stands out, and these numbers are all great, but Dak's numbers in this way look considerably better. So
Either way, one of us
Dak.
has a fucking Cowboy, one of us has a fucking Eagle.
Yeah, you guys actually split up the NFC East quarterbacks for me. I thought you guys were gonna just pick one, but you guys split them up.
God,
so there's your QB games for the week.
They were fun. I don't care.
How great was that? How great was that?
I don't care that I picked Dak. Fuck Dak.
I care.
But he's having a good year. What can you do?
Fuck him. He's having a good year until January. Fuck him.
Yeah.
And the Eagles.
Until December. Not reaching January. Until December.
Steve, you actually put both NFC East quarterbacks ahead of Brock Purdy this year, by the way. Just saying.
Baby. All right. What is okay? Our last one here is our
passing.
Our
This is a pass chart. They are labeled A, B, C, D. There is a graph at the bottom, which I will read it just so everyone is on the same page. There we go. So all the green dots are completions. The white dots are incompletions. The blue lines are touchdowns. And if there is a red dot, which I don't think there is on any of these, there is not. Those are interceptions.
No picks.
No picks. And the line of scrimmage is the blue line there.
One of these has to be a giant because look how fucking close those passes are.
So A, B, C, D is the preferred method here.
So picking what? Who we think is the best?
Who you yeah, go ahead and rank them basically. A, B, C, D.
Ooh. Fuck. I am going to say A, D, C, B. A, D.
A, D, C, B.
Yeah,
I got you, Tim.
Yeah, I'll stick with my answer.
You got A, D, C, B. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go B as my number one.
I almost went B also, but I know I kind of like the way A spread the ball a little bit more.
B, D, A, C. Immediately regretting it.
Do you want to switch? Does anyone want to make any switches before I announce?
Never.
Steve?
No.
Are you sure?
Are you scared?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Okay, so chart A is Jordan Love's week 13. That is his passing chart from week 13. Very spread out, a lot of green, some nice touchdown throws. That's Jordan Love. Chart B is Brock Purdy's week 13. Chart C is Gardner Minshew's Week 13.
Jesus.
Minshew Mania,
And-
baby.
Chart D is Dak Prescott's Thanksgiving Day.
I didn't do too bad.
No, you had Love 1, Dak 2, Minshew 3, Purdy 4. Steve had Purdy 1, Dak 2,
Anthony
Love
hates my
3,
list.
Minshew 4. I don't mind it. I would love to hear your explanation for it.
My explanation for it was
'Cause, see, I think you're not playing the game to the truth of the game. You're just trying to outthink me.
no. So I mean, give me the 4 touchdowns either way. So B or D was going to be number 1 for me. Either way, just for the sake of the touchdowns. And then thinking back on it, I thought D would have been Tua. And I didn't make the decision on that like that, for that reason. But just because it, for me, it's at first glance, there's a lot more forward momentum. Dump off passes to me, I don't really care as long as they result in touchdowns. But I saw some more incompletions on the D chart than I saw on the B chart, so I thought B was a little bit more efficient at first glance. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 incompletions on D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 incompletions on B.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was it.
21-18.
Oh shit! They scoring bunches. Vegas don't know shit.
Smashing that over.
Steelers blocked the punt, and then they got scored.
On a Mitch Trubisky run, of course.
Trubisky, baby.
So no, Steve, I have stopped trying. I have put no effort into trying to convince you guys of Tua. The Dolphins are winning, so I could care less what you guys think of Tua. That doesn't bother me.
No, I don't think Tua is bad. I just think that it's an incredible combination. I also think that there's other quarterbacks that can do
100% agree.
Tyreek Hill
100% agree.
Tua's doing. But again, if you're
Don't
a Dolphins
disagree
fan,
at all.
fuck it. We're killing people, except for the good teams.
Basically 9-3, first seed in the AFC though.
Yep.
So. No. My goal. I thought about doing more Tua stuff, but like I kept looking at stats, and it would have been easy to do because the stats are really good. But I just had no interest in.
What stats are you going to give me about the Dolphins that are bad offensively? Nothing.
I mean, I could go from like the Broncos game on. They're not as good.
Not as good. Oh, so
Not
sorry
as
that
good.
you're
They're not scoring
so sorry
70
that you're-
anymore.
We're having to settle for 45 and stuff now.
Yeah.
No,
so
the one narrative though that I did try and bring out with a lot of these stats is the fact that Brock Purdy is just Jimmy Garoppolo, and I waited to do something like this because I wanted to watch more games and gather more data. And as I sat and watched that Eagles game, which they did dominate the Eagles, I'm not even trying to like downplay that. They dominated the Eagles. But as I watched that game and I watched Deebo Samuel catch a 3-yard slant and turn it into a 40-yard touchdown multiple times, I'm just like, come on, man. We know what this is. Dave just said he just woke up. Should we believe him and bring him in so he could do the QB game, even though he probably watched it all?
Absolutely not.
I agree. But no, that was more so my thought process this week. After watching that game, I believe it more so now than I did before. Kyle Shanahan, phenomenal offensive play caller. He can scheme up as good as anyone in football, and he can make an average quarterback look like an MVP candidate. And let's not forget that Jimmy Garoppolo, in multiple years before injuries or whatever, was talked about in the same light. So I just don't think there's a difference. I think the biggest difference between those teams and this teams is Christian McCaffrey. And is that enough to win them a Super Bowl? Very, very possible. Very possible. Like extremely possible. You could argue that if they had McCaffrey in the Chiefs Super Bowl, that they might have won that game. And I probably wouldn't disagree with you. So
I would agree with that.
Like I said, I'm not trying to discount the Niners or what they're doing because they're right now, if I had to pick one team that I think is going to win it all, I probably have to pick them, just because there's really no holes. But when I watch Brock Purdy play, I don't think there's a difference between him and Jimmy Garoppolo. They're the same guy. Just one of them happens to have the best running back of the last 30 years on their team.
Interesting take on this from Chris Russo, Mad Dog. He said, when you think of Brock Purdy as far as an MVP candidate, MVP means that you're uplifting your team in moments that people probably doubt you, and the games that he was without some weapons, that was that 3-game losing streak.
Yep.
And so Mad Dog argues that, had he won 2 of those games, yes, hands down, definite MVP talk. But without his weapons, he was
Brock Purdy.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if he wins 2 of those games, that we're sitting here right now with an 11-1 Niners team that's running away with the NFC,
Dominant.
and there's no question that Brock Purdy is the MVP. But like you just
who's
said,
more at that point? It's who's more powerful, Brock Purdy or Brock Lesnar? You don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But like you said, you lose, and it was, if you think about it, it's crazy because it's Debo's the one they were missing, and Debo wasn't even having that great of a season at that point in time. And so to lose Debo and then all of a sudden just completely fall apart offensively. I mean, and they did lose Trent Williams at the same time, but I think some of the stats I put in there that talked about like pocket time and stuff like that, I think I put those in there to show the fact that yes, they were missing Trent Williams, but that offensive line is still pretty good.
But you leaned
without
offensive.
Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Right. So,
right.
Yeah, like I said, that was more so the narrative that I was looking at this week, especially like I said, after watching that game against the Eagles. I just like this is like, don't get me wrong, it's good, but this is no different than Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, I have actually started to come around to the fact that they could be doing this if they started Sam Darnold all year. I'm just throwing that out there. If Sam Darnold got to start from day one and was getting starter reps all preseason, I'm not sure they're in a different spot right now.
Listen, forget everything else. Debo is my hero from last week. He talked the shit. He backed the shit up against the Eagles, which right here, Debo, right here.
As long as they beat him in the playoffs and he does the same thing, then
do it again,
be good.
please.
If they play in the playoffs and Debo has a shit game and they lose, Debo will never live it down, ever.
We don't want to talk about the possibility.
No. I think the Niners right now, the Eagles clearly have some issues offensively. Mainly, I think with their play calling, and scheming.
Their secondary can be beat.
I don't think their secondary is bad. I think their secondary just doesn't like to tackle, and that's a problem. Because those Debo plays, it's like a 3-yard slant, and he just catches the ball, and then nobody tries.
He gone. Yeah.
And there were plenty of.
They look like the Giants defense from a few weeks ago.
You got to have. That's one thing. Not to change sports, but college football. It's one of the reasons I actually think Alabama beats Michigan, because like if Michigan, I think Michigan's gonna have a hard time running the ball against Alabama, and if they start trying to throw, that's one thing that Bama's secondary does really fucking well is those dudes tackle. They are not afraid to get in there and get dirty. So
that was a massive game while I was on the cruise. They had it up on all the big screens. Michigan,
Ohio State,
Michigan, the game, Michigan, Ohio State.
Should we touch on that real quick before we close out? Just real quick.
Yeah, we could. So Michigan, the cheaters of the land. I don't know if a lot of people talk about they did it for the coach is on the sideline, he took 3-game suspension, whatever. But number one, screw Ohio State, because I'm a Canes fan, and I still remember that stuff back then. But as far as the college, as a whole, the FSU thing and whatnot, the one thing that I wanted to mention in comparison between college football playoffs and any other playoffs, right? Think about I hate using the Eagles as an example, but think about the Eagles season when they won the Super Bowl. Imagine the NFL saying, "Oh, well, your star," and I'm putting up air quotes, quarterback Wentz goes down. So you know what, Eagles, you are not going to the playoffs just because of that, I get it. I get the whole situation. You're not going to have, college football is the dominance factor, right? Your top teams are the ones who dominate all the time against good teams, bad teams. God forbid you beat a bad team by 7 points and you drop in the rankings. But I hate FSU. I don't care that they're not in, but I do think that they got a raw deal. Oh, look at this.
Oh my god!
I agree with
Listen,
you.
I
word for
can't go
word.
another 30 minutes though, Mello. Let's bring Mello on here. Little team Mello. What's up, man?
What's up, John?
All right, guys. Have a good night. I gotta go now. See you guys.
Oh man, I thought you guys were already off by the time I woke up.
We made some statements during the show.
Oh,
you
boy.
had a thing on Wednesday, so we said we'll either do the show on Tuesday or Thursday. We went on Thursday, and instead of 9:00, we were asked to go on earlier, and we went on earlier, and we couldn't find our friend Mello.
And we started on time, by the way. We started at 8:15, like almost on the nose.
We had a guest come on, talk about baseball for 30 minutes.
We
Well,
even ran
that's
over
why-
the
that's-
scheduled time limit.
That's why I couldn't be on because can only be 4 at a time. We don't want to clutter the airwaves with 5 people.
Whatever.
But that's why they planned for the guest to be early, so that by the time you actually joined the show, the guest would have been gone already.
Thank you, Anthony.
No, you're right. I honestly tried my hardest to stay awake,
He was like,
and I don't know what happened that I just fell asleep. And yeah,
all right, you're the youngest of all of us, I feel. Well, I don't know, but
no,
All
I
right.
look the youngest though.
whoa.
I thought Tim too, Mello. It's okay. Is Mello? How old are you?
32.
Oh shit, he is the youngest. Damn.
I know the gray hairs, for everybody. But here,
Taking
I
a
thought
nap.
you guys were only gonna go like an hour, hour 30.
Yeah.
Here, I see you
A
guys
lot-
went over that.
They don't let me
There's a
be
lot to
great.
talk about.
Listen, we just did our QB games. That would have been fun. Would have been fun if you were around.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you guys finish the NCAA talk because that is fun.
Yeah, well, yeah, fun for me as a Canes fan. But yeah, that's the gist of it. I mean, the college football playoff has its issues. Why 4 teams only? That's less than a fantasy league.
And
gets
they're
in
still
there.
picked. And they're still picked. Like they're still
Yeah.
picked. Like, not like it's they're still being picked. So who gives a shit?
Yeah, but that's the problem is because of all the different conferences and the divisions. Like, how do you have a set algorithm of like this is who
Yeah.
gets in and this is who doesn't? I mean, it's kind of a fuck situation. Is it funny that like going back to a BCS style format where you have a computer system with a formula spit out rankings might be a better
Here it is.
idea?
Right?
I mean, honestly, just throwing that idea out there. It
a
might
few
be.
years ago, stupid computers making these stupid judgment calls. They have no
You know
emotion.
what's funny though? You know what's funny though? So this year we're arguing about like FSU got screwed and they were undefeated, blah 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 blah. Next year we're going to be arguing about the 9-3 Oklahoma State team should have got in. Why didn't the 9-3 Oklahoma State team get in?
9-3.
It's gonna be the same thing with 12 teams. It's gonna be no different. Someone's gonna be pissed off. It's no different. And
Are we okay with FSU getting, the short end of the stick?
As a Canes fan, I'm fine with it. If it was just another school, I'd say they probably. I'm still saying they probably got the short end of the stick here, but I would say it more if it wasn't FSU.
But let me ask you this though, Steve. If FSU's in, who's out?
So if a quarterback doesn't get hurt, man, that's tough. Also,
No,
but
I'm not saying if a quarterback doesn't get hurt. I'm saying FSU as currently constructed, if they put them in, who's out?
That's why I'm not making the bucks that these decision makers are.
I agree. I agree with Mello. I think Texas would have been the out because they had the worst loss of the teams in there.
Probably that went in the down Kane seasons. That was my team in NCAA. Or no, somebody called the Canes. I couldn't use the Canes, so he's Texas team in the college football game. PS5, PS4,
Let's
PS3.
be real. They only got in
PS3.
because
PS2.
They only got in why?
Because the Undertaker was at the game and presented them with the belt. That's the only reason they got in. They need
That's
to keep
it,
that
baby.
TV ship going.
I'll go with it.
So all right, so that's coming out too. But I have many an FSU fan in my life not happy about this at all. And before they even started the 4-team, wanted more. Obviously, I know. I think it was Stephen A. Smith that said 12. McAfee wanted more. McAfee loves college football, but McAfee wanted more. I mean, 4 teams out of 750 billion. It's like
Literally.
And
right?
the Power 5. That's the funniest thing. So Power 5, but only 4 make it. Like,
Well, that's why college football. If you lose week 1, you're like, well, there goes my whole fucking season. Like, why continue watching if you're?
Why are we doing top
Not
25?
true. Look at Alabama.
Oh, that's
That's-
different. They're
that's-
they're Alabama though. That's different. They're Alabama.
And you know what's funny? They're
a team
probably
like
still gonna
mine-
win the whole damn thing.
A team like mine, you lose one game, you might as well just pack it up for the rest of the year. You're done. So, by the way, we were talking about Brock Purdy and Brock and Brock Lesnar. Who's the bigger Brock? I'll tell you who the bigger Brock is right now. Fucking Brock Lesnar's scary ass daughter is the best Brock now. Look at this creature. Look at this creature. This is not right. This is not right that this person is walking amongst us. This isn't right. I'm sorry.
Brock Lesnar's genes are the strongest genes
ever.
This chick shot.
She's gonna play
bowling ball. She didn't even use a real shot.
On the line for the Vikings.
Her and the Rock's daughter are gonna be tag teaming in fucking 5 years. Watch.
Oh my god.
Both ugly
They're
as
gonna run
shit.
through the women's division.
Both ugly as shit. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, there's barely any Sable in that. Probably just
no. There's no Sable in that.
I don't think that's. Just to clarify, that's not Sable's child. Just to clarify,
Brock hatched her in the back somehow, like out of a fucking muscle. He made her like in a fucking drink, like a protein shake.
I just love that you said he hatched her.
He hatched her. I thought that was a Photoshop. And then I saw her on ESPN launching a bowling ball 95 yards. I said, what the fuck is that?
A 16-pound bowling ball at that.
I was like, how is this real? I was like, how is this person walking amongst us? This isn't right.
So it's definitely going to be a match, right? Brock and the daughter versus who?
Well,
Rock and his daughter is obvious.
Rock and Brock.
Rock and Brock
Rock versus Brock.
Yep.
Daughter's in there. WrestleMania what?
Versus the Brocks.
45.
Rock's daughter is no looker either, but she's not scary looking like fucking Lesnar's daughter is.
Melo's gone.
That was all the time.
Listen, Brock Lesnar's daughter will kick all of her asses at the same time.
100%. 100%.
Come on.
No doubt.
Come on.
About
Look
it.
at that.
No, look at
You want to go to prom with me? You're going to prom with me.
No. She doesn't ask. She tells.
You're going to prom with me.
Are you there?
Like the Sadie Hawkins, right? That's where the girls ask the guys.
No, she asked everybody. She don't care.
She tells.
Lunch lady. Tater tots tomorrow, lunch lady. Tater tots.
It gets reversed, right? Sable's thing. It's like, every man wants to beat me.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I'm not sure.
Sable's a little disappointed when she sees this girl. A little disappointed.
She will whoop her mom's ass. Or Sable's ass, sorry. All right, so Mello, you'll send your picks then, because we're not going to go through that again. But
Mello, you automatically got whoever loses this game, by the way.
Well, no. That's not how the rules go. The rules go, I get the away team every single time.
You get the Patriots.
Thank you.
You do get the Patriots. That's not fair. but should not necessarily be rewarded
Wait,
for your
wait, time
shenanigans.
out. Technically speaking, none of us turned our picks in time, so we would all get the Patriots.
This game ain't over yet. The game is not over yet.
It's not.
It's
So
just-
we're gonna stick with the Steelers.
Anthony makes a great
unless-
point.
Steve is gonna wait another 4 minutes and 58 seconds of game time to decide if he's gonna stick to that rule or not.
All right. So look, look, we covered hockey, baseball, basketball, football, did it all with Brock's
We even
daughter,
touched on college football.
college football. You know, Soto, the whole shenanigans. We covered a lot of shit today. But it's time for us to go round robin here to close things out. Timmy, on the birthday of the legendary Larry Bird, what have you got to close us out? There it is.
3-time world champion, multiple MVPs. He's the greatest white man to ever walk the earth, including Jesus. But Jesus was technically not white anyway. He was, Middle Eastern. Who cares? I don't care. Offsides. Steelers gonna get the ball.
Flag on the play.
Yeah. It caught my eye. That's why. I don't know. I'm happy. I'm sad. The Giants are gonna lose. They're terrible. Yankees got Soto, yay, and I am terrified of Brock Lesnar's daughter. Terrified of her.
I feel like she could put us in the torture rack.
I can't believe she's walking the earth. It's like actually seeing Sasquatch for the first time. Like that's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Well, you know how you see one of those when you see one of those giant squids, you're like, how did that produce? How was that made?
That happened.
How did they let that happen on this planet? That a squid that big exists.
All of a
God
sudden,
FCC
Timmy's
regulated.
lights go out. Brock's music hits. The lights come back on. Timmy's down and out. I don't know what's
Have you ever seen those videos with the one dude from Modern Family where he's like, I'm so mad right now, I'm gonna punch the next person I see. And Brock Lesnar just shows up.
The next person I see, I'm gonna kick their ass.
No,
Tony
Brock,
Brock.
not
Not
you.
you, Brock.
The next person I see. The fact that those two guys are friends, by the way, is fucking comical.
Yeah.
He ain't showing up here. I'll fuck him up.
Yeah, why don't you watch her back? All right, Anthony, what you got here on the way out? Timmy's sworn enemy. We got Timmy versus Anthony in the playoffs this week in the PopCulturePros Fantasy Football League.
If Tim beats me this week, he's gonna get a "I knew it was you, Fredo" moment next week from me. I knew it was you, Fredo. I knew it was you. I just have one question for Mello. Mello, I hope that you were actually sleeping and not just watching to get the QB game stuff, because I'm gonna send them in the chat and I expect you to answer them honestly before rewatching this video.
Honestly and
just
truthfully.
so I can add honestly and truthfully, and then I'll add you to the list here so we can just see how it came out.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem with that.
Okay.
I was actually sleeping, trust me.
Okay. They will be sent shortly.
Were you blown away by the Iron Claw? You had to go to sleep.
I'm still thinking about it.
Oh, wait, sorry, Anthony, are you done with your?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right, Mello. Today, the day after you go and see Iron
Don't you
Claw
dare.
in Aventura, the day after, I get an invite for next Wednesday in Kendall.
Mello, you live down there?
Come on, I don't live by Kendall, but I'd rather drive to Kendall than
But it's closer, right?
Yeah.
I just so that there is proof of this. You see, I don't know if you can tell, 10:30 in the morning, right? That's today, and Kendall Village is there. And I thought about you, and I wanted to send it to you then, but it's rough. Aventura in December is a fucking nightmare.
Well, 95 also. Anytime after like 4:30 is terrible.
Yeah, 95 is bad.
Yeah, the express lane alone is like $10 to get like from the 112 all
Just
the way to
price gouging all over. When it comes to the tolls in Florida, forget about it.
insane.
You get there like 450 on 95, and it's that shit's $20.
Yeah, it's either pay that or sit in traffic for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, no. So look, you
But Mel, how was the
Made it
movie
through.
though? You said you'll never watch it again, but how was it?
Well, I never said I would never watch it again. I wouldn't go out of my way. It's not like an end game, or even like, not to put it to that standard, but like one of my favorite movies every time it's on TV to watch is like 17 again. It's not like a great movie, but I'll go ahead and watch it every time just because I think it's funny.
You get sucked in.
Yeah. This movie, I think it's a lot. And I think maybe it did me a little bit of a disservice to know the story already, to be like, oh man, they didn't go really into that. Or at least like I knew stuff like about it. Regardless of that fact though, it was still really, really good.
Did you get any video of Bert crying?
I could hear oh man, from across the theater. So I will say that. And he was sitting behind Gangrel. So I was like, man, Gangrel must be like, what's wrong with this kid? But I will say there is something that I would say not that I didn't enjoy it, but I just thought it was maybe a little too much from the directing point. But still it was fantastic. It will get you and like you could feel like, I guess everyone here sort of knows the story. But throughout the movie, when things start to happen, like towards like after like the second, third thing, every time something else happened after that, you just hear the entire theater like go like, oh no, like no way, like it's just you don't get a break, and the theater feels that like
That's what happened in real life.
That's emotion from the
Yeah.
You feel that, like the theater feels that, and I mean, once you guys watch it in the theaters, if you do, you can let me know if you thought the same thing. But that was my reaction with everything.
How was the actors who portrayed the other wrestlers? Did you buy Ric Flair and the Freebirds?
So the only one you really get a feel of is probably Ric Flair, and that's even like it's very, very slightly.
Not the Freebirds. If the Freebirds had to be big, no.
You would think it doesn't expand on it too much.
Really, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, so like I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but like MJF, you catch him slightly, but it never says who MJF is. But we know who he is. Like as wrestling fans, as knowing like who the character's playing, we know like that part of it, but it never goes into that at all. Like it kind of sticks more to like the family side of the wrestling, never like
so it's not a wrestling movie with it's a family story with happen to be wrestlers, and not the other way around. Like it's not a wrestling movie.
Correct.
All right, so I get it.
Yeah, but still, it's pretty cool seeing like some of these characters be. One of them.
Dude.
Oh, sorry.
That was
Flair,
quick. That was
cool.
super quick.
It's cool seeing these guys on screen and seeing like Flair being one of them. Harley Race, I thought, was probably the other guy that got portrayed really well. And yeah, then you got like the Freebirds are relatively quick, but like the moment you get in the ring with them, again, it's still pretty good.
Cool. Wednesday.
All right, so Timmy's gonna go see it Wednesday. Mello, you could have waited in less traffic and saw it Wednesday.
I'll go see it again.
I'll put you down. I'm in.
Well, I guess I'll tell you. One of my AMC. I don't want to bash Aventura right now on air, so
you wouldn't be the first, and you're not the last. A lot of people complain about that place.
Yeah, I just want to say that the particular theater they chose for it was not the best, because depending if you were sitting because I got there a little bit later than I would like to, I had to sit like towards like the back. So I don't know if it was pretty much a theater. The speakers towards the back were not working. So like there were some times where like I could hear what they said, but it was like I really had to concentrate to hear what was going on because it was just way too low.
Yeah, Aventura gets that a lot. And AC issues too. there. So,
Well, it's been nice in Miami the last 2 days, so I have no complaints on that end.
Right? Yeah, nice and cool. All right. So we'll be looking forward to a complete review from you in the coming days. And then if you head to the site, there's a bunch of different contests that have been posted the last few days. Wonka, Dr. Death here in Miami, which has been very popular. Dr. Death season 2, the first 2 episodes in Atlanta. Poor Things, Fandangos, kind of things there. What else we got here? Let me scroll down. Percy Jackson, that's been big in Phoenix and in Boston. Florida, Boston was Wonka, and then Miami and Miami and Atlanta for the Crown, or no, just Miami. Sorry,
What was it? What's popular in New York?
Sorry, Miami, the Crown season 6, the first 2 episodes. That was a big one too. I did not know that the Crown was so popular or Dr. Death was so popular before putting up these contests on the site and seeing how quickly this shit goes. But the contests are up, especially for what's the one? The Fandango code that we're doing. What's that one? That is Poor Things. So that's a nationwide deal with Emma Stone coming up. So that hits theaters, I think, next Friday. And so after that, feel free to use the Fandango codes that you win from Pop Culture Pros. Good shit. All right, that wraps it up for us this week. Loaded show. It had been a month. Feels like we covered a month worth of things. But until next week, everybody.
See you.
What is that, Mello? What is that?
You know what that is. Tommy Cutlets, baby.
Tommy Cutlets. All right, peace out, everybody.